by Gus Johnson.
We just got done watching with all of America, and now they tuned in. How good was that? What a game.
What a game that was. Michigan comes into this game winners of 9 straight football games. Yeah. They're just playing spectacular football.
They are.
They need a win today to set up that game next week down south, and they have the quarterback and the defense to do it against Indiana.
And now they have a little motivation, too, because they just saw and witnessed in the locker room and on their phones their arch rival struggle in a game right before the game. And so I anticipate that Michigan's going to play great today, and it's going to start with their quarterback, Shea Patterson. He's been the real difference for me with this club. We know they can play defense, run the ball, etc., but Shea has been the difference this year. 67% completion percentage, and he's only turned the ball over 3 times with those 3 interceptions. The defense, by the way, unreal. This defense is as good as it gets in all of college football. #1 pass defense. They fly around, led by their linebacker Devin Bush, but he's not the only star. You got Rashawn Gary and Chase Winovich. Can't wait to watch him play today.
As for Indiana, huge game for the Hoosiers. They have 5 wins. They beat Maryland last week at home. They need 1 more win to become bowl eligible.
And that's so big for Tom Allen, their head coach, because it's such a young team. So he needs those extra practices for the development of the Hoosiers. Now today, I think it's going to fall on the shoulder of their quarterback. Peyton Ramsey is a guy who played pretty well a week ago against Maryland. He got healthy during their bye week, and he was much better as a runner. I think that's a dynamic he's going to need today against this great defense. They're very pass happy, and in order to pull the upset, Peyton Ramsey, he's going to have to play his best game of the season.
All right, time now to join the 3rd member of our team on the sideline, the All-American girl, Jenny Taft.
Well, guys, it's pretty common for teams to use different words to live by during their season. And for both Indiana and Michigan, they picked the same word, finish. But for these 2 teams, finishing means very different things. According to quarterback Peyton Ramsey, he said the word finish came from the fact that they didn't get it done last year. You guys mentioned it. They want to get to a bowl. They missed that last year. He said it didn't sit well with us, and we have 2 games to prove to ourselves that we can do it. For Michigan, this is a team we have been around a lot this year. Every time I talk to these players, the word finish, it comes up. Even yesterday, Devin Bush Jr. telling us we use the word all the time. They believe it. They want to fight for it, and they have a lot of goals. And for the Wolverines, getting past a 10-win season, that's what they want to do. They are not done, and it starts with getting a win today as they continue this journey on.
All right, thank you very much, Jenny. Indiana won the toss, deferred. Michigan will receive. Great day for football in the state of Michigan. 35 degrees, and it's going to get colder as this game moves forward.
Yeah, buddy. Football weather.
No doubt about it. Jared Smoller will kick it away for IU. Ambry Thomas is the deep man for the Wolverines, and we're underway from Ann Arbor. This one kicked out of the end zone for a touchback, so that will bring on Shea Patterson. And some people feel that Shea is from Shreveport, Louisiana, but actually he's from Toledo, Ohio.
That's right. He's a Midwest kid. He grew up in Toledo until he was about 12 years old, and that's when they moved away. So he's back home in a sense, and he was a Michigan fan growing up, but he's been remarkable for Michigan, 67%. But again, like I said earlier, Gus, the most important part of his game is the fact that he is controlling the ball. Those lack of interceptions, only 3 on the year, so important.
First down and 10 to the 25 for the Wolverines. Karan Higdon in the backfield. They give it to him. Higdon breaks the tackle, gets to the 30. First down, Michigan. Marcelino Ball with the tackle, but Higdon, another 1,000-yard season for this running back, picks up 13.
Just following those blocks, a couple of tight ends in the game, McCune and Eubanks, 84 and 82. Great blocks on that right side, opening up the hole, but it's Higdon's patience that allows that to happen. He finds the hole, and then he's out the gate.
First and 10 at the 38. Higdon remains in the backfield. Here's Patterson rolling out of the pocket, throws on the move, and he has Nico Collins, turns it up, and another first down. Ball with the tackle once again.
And this is that play-action game that I think is so dangerous. It's not necessarily sitting up right in the pocket and taking a big deep shot, but you've got a great run game if you're Jim Harbaugh. So he creates a little misdirection. Shea Patterson's out of the pocket, and it's an easy completion for his first of the day.
Patterson last week, 260 yards passing, 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions, and he played that game at Rutgers in 30-mile-per-hour winds. Higdon running left, breaks the tackle, and gets to the 40-yard line before being knocked out of play by Brian Fitzgerald.
What a block by Cesar Ruiz, number 51, the center. I'll tell you what, this is an athletic group up front, and this offensive line, I don't think it gets the credit that they probably deserve. They're maybe not the best offensive line in the country, but they're consistent, and they get a hat on a hat. Very few times will you see an opponent unblocked up front.
Gain of 8, 2nd and 2 at the 40-yard line. Higdon looking for the first down. He has it and more. Higdon inside the Indiana 30 for the Wolverines on their opening series. That's a 14-yard gain. Damian Willis, Ashawn Riggins knocks him out of play.
They came with the exact same play. Watch Ruiz. He pulls out of there. They're doing a great job. That's the left guard as well, Ben Bredesen, who's probably their best offensive lineman. And there's Ruiz out in front, and Higdon always waiting patiently for his blocks, and he's able to get a long gain there for a first.
So on this drive, Higdon with gains of 13, 8, and 14 yards. First down and 10 of the 26. Patterson sprinting out of the pocket. With time, delivers to the sideline, and it's caught. Grant Perry looks like he got a foot in bounds. Nice reception for the senior from Brother Rice.
I'll tell you what, the efficiency of this drive, the tempo, and this is what I always used to call it as a player, and this is what our coaching staff used to call it, the sense of urgency with which they're playing. You can tell that this Michigan team, they're firing on all cylinders here on their first series of the day.
The defense, #1 in the country, but it looks like the offense continues to get better.
Yeah, every week. Every week they get better and better and more explosive.
2nd down and 7 at the 23. And this time it's True Wilson. Wilson with a first down and more as he gets to the Indiana 13. Cam Jones with the tackle. And that will be a gain of 10.
Okay, we've seen this play now to the right and now to the left and now to the right, pulling the center and guard. This time the right side with Owenu and Ruiz. Wilson does a great job there waiting for the blocks to materialize, finds the hole, cuts right back inside, and it's another first down.
I tell you, somewhere Bo Schembechler is in heaven. He's smiling as the Wolverines continue to pound it forward this season. On first down, Higdon. And he's ambushed from behind. Damian Willis, number 43, with the tackle. But Higdon, he's been a terrific runner last year against Indiana. 25 carries, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, including the game winner in overtime.
Yeah, this guy, and he's on quite a streak this year. Last week, his 100-yard consecutive game streak was snapped at 7. Didn't quite get the carries, and quite frankly, they didn't need him all that much against Rutgers as they pulled away in the second half. But he's been tremendous. I mean, tremendous. He's 2nd in rush yards per game in the Big Ten this year with 111.
2nd down and 9 at the 12. And Higdon off a bad snap. Patterson handled it, but that'll be a tackle for a loss for Indiana. Brian Fitzgerald gets in the backfield.
Yeah, that bad snap threw off the timing of that entire play, and Indiana was able to get right upfield and make a nice play.
A lot on the line for these Hoosiers. They'll take on Purdue, their rivals, next week. They need to win either this game or the one next week to become bowl eligible. 3rd and 11 for Shea Patterson. And here's Patterson looking with time. Dancing. Steps back. And dumps it out of bounds. So an interesting series for the Wolverines. They drive it all the way down the field and will have to settle for a field goal attempt as Quinn Nordine will come into the game.
Tom Allen with a nice stop for his defense, the head coach. And actually, we got a little change in kicker here for Michigan.
That's right, Jake Moody. Nordine has struggled. So Jake Moody, the freshman from Northville, Michigan, comes in to attempt a 32-yarder. And it's good. Jim Harbaugh wasting no time. Changing kickers. Wolverines take a 3-0 lead. One of the great places in America.
Yeah, this is college football's cathedral. You know, baseball has Yankee Stadium. I think college football has the Big House.
Michigan scores as Jake Moody now will kick it away. Interesting decision,
yeah,
for Jim Harbaugh to put Moody in.
Quinn Nordin had struggled in the last couple of weeks. In fact, he attempted a field goal in each of his last 2 games, missed both of those, and so he goes with Moody, who is a freshman from the area, Northville, right here in the Detroit area.
Tom Allen, the head coach for Indiana, and he addressed his players before the game.
Let the whole country see who we are. Together, today. We're going to attack them for 60 minutes, from the start to the finish. Attack, attack, attack. We're starting fast and finish strong, baby. Yes, sir. Here we go. Bring it up. Together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
I don't know about you, Joel. I'm ready to play.
Let's rock.
Let's go. So first down for Indiana. Stevie Scott running the ball. Devin Gill with the tackle. But they're going to have to play their best because this Michigan defense is something else.
Yeah, they really are. And they didn't play their best last week against Rutgers. And Peyton Ramsey is going to have a heck of a day throwing against the #1 pass defense in all of college football.
Second down and 7 for Ramsey underneath. And that ball is incomplete. Intended for Luke Timian. Couldn't hold on. Metellus, who's been playing with a soft tissue injury, in on the play.
Yeah, Metellus actually did not play last week, so back in the lineup. They thought he would probably be back by the way that he practiced, and he's tested right away here and comes up with a nice PBU.
Third down and 7. 4 receivers at the bottom of your screen for Peyton Ramsey. Here's Ramsey, looks the other way, goes through his progressions. Ramsey, and he will be sacked at the 20-yard line, or no. Still running. They didn't call him down as he gets out of bounds and picks up a first down. Looks like Kwity Paye had him.
Boy, he basically almost comes down twice. Watch as Kwity Paye, he's coming in there and then right there. Still up, watch. He's going to rotate over him, and he stays up off the field. You see how his backside never actually touched?
The runner achieved the line of the game. That ruling is under further review.
When he rolls over, I don't think he actually touched down. It was just his left hand. What an amazing move from Peyton Ramsey. This is a nice look here. Watch as he kind of goes over the top. Nothing touches, nothing touches. And I think his backside actually stayed up off the turf. And alertly, Gus, he got up right away and started running. This will be a great look here. Nope. He was absolutely above the ground.
Presence of mind and know that he didn't touch and to continue on. Wonderful job for Peyton Ramsey.
And he had a huge run early in last week's ball game, a 2-point win over that Maryland team that just took Ohio State the distance in overtime. And they said it was huge for him to get healthy. Look at that, absolutely above the ground. What a play. What a play.
Ramsey had that 35-yard touchdown, as you mentioned.
After further review, the ruling on the field of a first down is confirmed. First down.
That's a 15-yard gain.
Well, Michigan does what they do. They got to the quarterback, and Ramsey just made a little better play than Kwity Paye. Kwity Paye, a sophomore, 6'5", 277, did a great job getting to the quarterback for Jim Harbaugh, just unable to get Ramsey to the ground.
So a first down and 10 at the 43, opening series for IU as they hand it off to Scott. And Scott stopped by Devin Bush. But Stevie Scott picks up 5, and he's having a terrific year.
Yeah, and he's an impressive freshman back for them. 6'2", 236 pounds, and he's got some speed for being such a big fella.
Second and 5, over the middle, and it's a completion. Donovan Hale with the grab, dropped immediately after the 2-yard gain.
This is good tempo, good pace for Indiana. Getting themselves into these shorter third down situations is imperative. Michigan, one of the best teams in the country in third and long defensively. So they've got to stay right here. Third and 3, Gus. This is where you got to live.
Reese Taylor lines up in the backfield. Now splits out wide as a receiver. He's also a backup quarterback. Ramsey underneath, and a first down, Hoosiers. Timian with the catch, and he picks up 4, but there is a flag.
Boy, it was such a good route from Timian. I mean, a really good
warning.
route.
First sideline warning, Michigan. First down.
Little sideline warning there, and Timian gave a little delay against Metellus, and that's what allowed him to create a little separation. Luke Timian, senior from Southlake, Texas, began his career as a walk-on, but has turned into one heck of a player here for the Hoosiers.
First down at the 46, and they stay on the ground with Stevie Scott. And Stevie Scott runs into Aubrey Solomon, the sophomore from Georgia.
Solomon was sick last week. Did not make the trip out to Rutgers, but healthy again this week and making a play there.
Stevie Scott closing in on a 1,000-yard season, 894 yards rushing coming into this game. 2nd and 9 at the 45. Here's Ramsey, winds up down the field, nobody home. And that'll bring up 3rd and long.
A lot of contact there. They were trying to run a little two-man route combination with Nick Westbrook as well as Luke Timian, but this is the situation. In the last 32 attempts in 3rd and long, so 5 yards or more, Gus, Michigan's given up 1 conversion, 1 for their last 32. They've been amazing in this situation.
3rd down and 9 at the 45. Empty backfield for Peyton Ramsey. In trouble. Got it away, but they will not pick up the first down. Timian with the catch. A 6-yard gain. And let's see if Indiana elects to go for it on 4th down.
They may have gotten to that point in that type of field position, the 39-yard line. You're inside of 5 yards to go. I think this is the right call for Tom Allen.
4th down and 3. Remember, Ramsey can run.
Sure looks like you might get some pressure here. That's Kalik Hudson, the Viper back.
Ramsey. And intercepted. Michael W12 plucked it out of the air. And Michigan forces the first turnover of the game.
What a play by W12, but also Devin Bush, the middle linebacker, out in space, breaking on the ball and breaking it up.
Rated M for mature.
Shall we dance on the bright sound of music? Shall we fly? Shall we dance? Shall we then say goodnight and mean goodbye? Shall we dance? Shall we dance? Shall we dance?
Born in the Rockies, Coors Light is colder, cleaner, and crisper to refresh you for what's next. Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Discover card.
Hi, I'm just looking at my account and I've got all this extra cash back.
Yep, that's your cashback match. Only Discover will automatically match all the cash back new card members earn at the end of their first year.
You matched everything I earned this year?
Yeah.
Woo! More money, more money! Ah!
It's all very exciting.
I'm gonna spread the news.
Spread it wide.
It's cashback match, people!
You know that. You all work here.
New card members get a $1-for-$1 match at the end of their first year, only from Discover.
Bandit 3, this is Fox 2-3. Can you see that contact to our front? Bandit Fox 2-3, out. Mark him a tracer fire.
There are those who choose a different path in life. A path of selflessness, of service. A path that leads to freedom. Do you have what it takes? Find out at goarmy.com/warriors.
Find a song and sing it round, round, round. Get you bound like you've been dreaming love. Yeah, you know that this is really love.
Mars, new episodes Mondays at 9 on National Geographic.
FS1 College Football is sponsored by Discover Card, the official credit card of the Big Ten Conference. And by Domino's. Order online and track your order. Aerial coverage is brought to you by our good neighbors at State Farm. So the Michigan defense turns Indiana over. And the Wolverines will start from their own 38, leading 3-0. Higdon the single setback. Play fake. Patterson drops deep, steps up in the pocket, goes down the field. And incomplete. Let's check in with Greg Wolf. Tariq Black, the intended receiver, in Los Angeles for a game break.
Gus, thanks. Number 10, Ohio State. They host Michigan next weekend on Fox in overtime. Maryland going for the upset, 2-point conversion. Final play of the game. Terrell Pigram incomplete. The Buckeyes and Urban Meyer survive 52-51 in overtime. Gus, Joel, back to you.
All right, thank you very much. 2nd and 10 at the 38 for the Wolverines. And here's the handoff to Evans. Chris Evans has been banged up this season, missed 3 games, but he is healthy now at the right time.
And they're finally getting that complementary backfield going. Evans and Karan Higdon. And Higdon has had to be kind of the mainstay back there in the backfield for them because Evans has been a little banged up, and he's taken that position and run with it. He's done a heck of a job back there.
Had a 61-yard touchdown run against Rutgers last week. 3rd down and 8 at the 40. Patterson scrambles out of the pocket, dumps it down. Here's Edwards. And Jonathan Crawford with the tackle.
And once again, Patterson making the correct decision, doing a great job on the outside, finding the open man and taking what the defense gives him. That's the type of mindset that is a little different for him than what he cut his teeth with at the college level.
And that brings on Will Hart, who's averaging 48 yards on 34 kicks. That would be 4th nationally if he had enough punts to qualify. And the Wolverines are 22nd in the country in net punting, gaining 40 yards of field position on average each time they kick it. Delivers deep down the field. And this one out of bounds around the 20-yard line. 5:51 to play in the first. Wolverines up 3-0. But here come the Hoosiers on offense right after this.
You see, Brad, songs are really about big life moments. Baby shower here. Big life moment.
What is in here?
Ooh, I hope it's a life insurance policy.
What?
It's a sensible gift. Protection for you and your family. Nationwide has all the tools to help you find the right coverage.
Tiny baby shoes. So close.
Makes no sense. Baby can't even walk. Should have been a life insurance policy. Plus, would have been a great song. Think about it. The lyrics, beneficiaries. Ooh, Brad, where are you going?
GoPea's found a way to keep her receipts tidy, even when nothing else is.
Snap and sort your expenses with QuickBooks and find on average $4,628 in tax savings. QuickBooks, backing you.
Right now, when you grab a $5 double chalupa box, you can enter for a chance to win an exclusive Platinum Xbox One X, only at Taco Bell.
Put down the chalupa. Focus.
Wrong button, buddy. Wrong button.
Born in the same hospital, destined to cross paths again, on opposite sides of the fiercest rivalry in sports.
How do you feel when someone is looking over your shoulder? Not all snoopers can be seen. Cyber criminals can steal your sensitive information. Hackers can intercept your data on public Wi-Fi. But not with the NordVPN app. It helps protect your privacy by encrypting your online data. And it's so easy to use. NordVPN, your shield from online snoopers. Download and enjoy trusted internet security and privacy.
The United States Postal Service makes more holiday deliveries to homes than anyone else in the country, with one notable exception.
Time now for Roots of the Roster, sponsored by Ancestry. give the gift that unwraps their family history. Check out Michigan, 50 players from this state, 13 from Ohio, and Jim Harbaugh has gone south a little bit, 13 from the state of Florida.
Big change from the old days here at Michigan as Scott runs the ball. I was talking to Dan Geerdorf, and the Michigan All-American and Pro Football Hall of Famer, who was the analyst for Michigan Radio. He said when he played for Bo in the late 60s, 25% of the roster was from Michigan, 25% of the roster from elsewhere, and 50% of the roster was from Ohio. Here's Stevie Scott. He's from Syracuse, New York. What a run. And Scott gets to the Michigan 40. Tyree Kinnell with the saving tackle after the 35-yard gain.
Great block up front by Wes Martin, number 76. And Stevie Scott was out the gate. That's another long run. Michigan gave up a couple of long runs last week to Rutgers. One was an 80-yard touchdown. So that run defense, some holes up front.
First down and 10 of the 41. And this time, they won't go anywhere. Chase Winovich with the tackle. Nick Westbrook running the football, and this kid has one of the great motors in all of college football.
There is no doubt. Senior from Pennsylvania, 51 tackles on the season coming in, 12 of those for loss. He is an absolute animal in the backfield constantly.
On Tuesday, he was named to the Associated Press midseason All-American team. Second and 11. Ramsey steps up, delivers to the sideline, and incomplete. Timmy and the intended receiver. Good coverage, though, by the Wolverines. Tyree Kinnell right in his hip pocket.
Boy, Kinnell does a great job. They're in the slot against each other, and Timmy is going to run that little fade and does a great job of stacking him, getting a little separation. But see how Kinnell goes up and just hits the hands at the catch point. Boom, right there. And then he defends him and comes down.
Third down and 11 at the 42. Empty backfield for Ramsey.
Showing blitz again.
Here's Ramsey. Under pressure. Wants to run it. Has room. First down IU. What a move, Ramsey, as he cuts it back. And he'll get all the way down to the Michigan 12. A 30-yard run.
Watch Simon Stepanak as he's working against Rashawn Gary. He just mashes him all the way down. Gary went too far inside, opens up a huge lane. Ramsey sees it, takes off, and then shows you some of that running ability down the field. Again, he's gotten more healthy as the season has gone along. Really helped him in the run game.
First and 10 at the Michigan 13 for Indiana. Scott. And touchdown Hoosiers. 13-yard touchdown for Stevie Scott. And here in the first quarter, Indiana able to run it on the #1 defense in America.
I tell you what, this combination block on the right side is so good. Simon Stepanak and Brandon Knight getting both the defensive lineman and Devin Bush blocked up, getting to the second level and getting Bush blocked is the most important part of that play. They get it done for a touchdown.
Logan Justice comes in to attempt the extra point, and it's good. 4:14 to go. First quarter, 7-3 IU as they go on a 6-play, 80-yard drive, scoring in 1 minute and 37 seconds.
Oh my gosh, I just got kissed by
What are you boys up to?
Nothing.
Outdoor memories start with great gifts from Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's 5-day sale. With huge savings like savings of $20 each on this Kids Mega Wagon and RC truck. This Deer Path 8-piece bed set for under $50. And save $100 on this Woodstock Gourmet Kitchen Cutlery set. Open Thanksgiving Day.
There is something about a Guinness that reminds you there's less that separates us than brings us together. Here's to us all.
At Farmers, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even a huge drag. Nothing worth losing sleep over because we covered it.
talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum. I want to give my family a great entertainment system. Where do I start?
At home.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, with us. An in-home consultation.
Really?
And it's free.
Free expertise at your place? That's quite a stocking stuffer.
I've heard a lot about Samsung 4K QLED TVs.
They're great. And when we look at your space, we'll know how to build the best system for you.
I want to give Santa some real competition this year.
Shall we set up that consultation then?
Yeah, let's do it.
I wonder if they come in through the chimney.
A September to remember starts with a December to remember at the Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Lease the 2018 RX 350 for $429 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
You betrayed me to save your own skin.
It was you, not me.
The Resident, all new Monday at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Stevie Scott, 6 carries, 61 yards, including the 13-yard touchdown. He's number 2 now all-time for most rushing yards by a true freshman. Remember, he had a 100-yard game last week against Maryland, his 4th 100-yard game of the season.
I am thoroughly impressed with him. He's got good vision. He's faster than he seems. And Gus, he weighs about 235. I mean, he's a big guy. And yet he's got that burst. You know, when he sees the open hole, he can get to that second level quickly. And he's done a heck of a job.
Hoosiers will kick this one short, and it's picked up by Edwards at the 30-yard line. And Edwards gets to the 35 before being stood up. Marcelino Ball with the tackle on special teams. Let's go to Greg Wolf for a game break.
Gus, thanks. Number 9, West Virginia trying to stay on track for their first ever Big 12 championship. Will Greer, David Sills, their 31st touchdown connection over the last 2 seasons. That's tops in the FBS. Mountaineers lead Oklahoma State 21-14, second quarter. Gus, Joel, back to you.
All right, thank you very much. We had an opportunity to call that Texas-West Virginia game in Austin. Will Greer came back in dramatic fashion at the end to win it for the Mountaineers. First down and 10 at the 36, Michigan. Running the football, Wilson. And True Wilson will cross the 40 before being dragged down from behind by Khalil Bryant.
It looked like there was even more room, so Khalil Bryant kind of saved a big play there. There was a huge hole up front opened up by that Michigan offensive line. But we've seen now a couple of times this Indiana defense close quickly and then tackle well. And the Michigan running backs have broken loose.
Second down and 5 at the 41. Wilson remains in the backfield. And Patterson pulls it out, runs it, and picks up the first down. 7-yard gain for Shea Patterson. Bryant with the tackle once again.
A lot of times I'll call defensive coordinators around the leagues, you know, when we're in these stretches where we're in the Big Ten for a while, and I say, hey, what's the biggest problem right now when you're facing Michigan? And they say it's pretty much the same as what it used to be, except for the fact that Patterson now has the ability to hurt you with his legs, and that designed run by the quarterback is something that's a new wrinkle for Michigan, and it's been a real problem for opposing defenses.
First down and 10 at the 48-yard line. Patterson running it again, and Patterson will be taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Micah McFadden, terrific job with the tackle. He's in because Raekwon Jones, their starting linebacker, is out of this game with a leg injury.
Yeah, and McFadden is another one of these young players, a freshman from the Tampa area, and he's getting better every single week. And you saw there a great recognition of what was going on first, and then he's able to close and get Patterson to the ground.
A lot of Florida players on this Indiana team. Second and 10 at the 48. Higdon back in. And Higdon running it. And he'll gain a yard and a half. Thomas Allen jumped on his back.
Thomas Allen, another one of these young players, also from the Tampa area. And this linebacker core, they're having to play without a couple of their real stalwarts. You know, Raekwon Jones is a junior. He's played a lot of football. Marcelino Ball, number 42, he's been banged up at times. So a lot of freshmen on the second level. And Gus, so far, they've been playing pretty well in this ballgame.
Third down and 8 at midfield for Michigan. Patterson with time. Dumps it off. Higdon, but he will not get the first down because Michael McFadden, the freshman from Tampa, with another big tackle.
This is that field position that you got to think that Jim Harbaugh is going to think about it. Here's the third down play. Patterson looks like he wants to take off. Then Higdon gets the ball. Great tackle by McFadden.
The Wolverines are going to go for it.
Yeah, I think that this is the field position. You don't necessarily want to punt it away on a real short yardage situation. They believe in their short yardage package. They bring a couple of tight ends out. They're going to get big.
4th down and 2.
They'll call a timeout. Just too late. Too late trying to break the huddle.
1:04 to go in the first quarter. Indiana, all business with a 7-3 lead.
Once I started looking for car insurance, it was a no-brainer. I switched to Geico and saved hundreds. That's a win. But it's not the only reason I switched. The Geico app makes it easy to manage my policy. I can pay my bill, add a new driver, or even file a claim. Woo! Hey now, that's a win-win. Thank you.
Switch to Geico. It's a win-win.
And don't forget to check out Breaking the Huddle with my partner Joel Klatt on Facebook Live Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, sponsored by Dr. Pepper. Should be getting interesting on your show now.
Yeah, lots of things to talk about.
Lots of things that I heard you made up with one university that is currently in the top 10.
Yeah, UCF and I hugged it out a little bit, you know, a little bit of internet hug it out that we had to have. They took exception with the fact that I said that they don't belong in the playoff. I still believe that.
All right, Michigan faced with a 4th down and 2 at the 44. And now Indiana will call timeout.
Indiana, they're first.
And we'll step away once again. 7-3, big 4th down call coming up for the Wolverines. Indiana 5-5 on the season. One more win. They're bowl eligible right now with a 7-3 lead over the Michigan Wolverines. 4th down and 2 for Patterson with Higdon in the backfield. Peoples-Jones in motion. And they snap it. Higdon looking for the first down and has it. Higdon picks up 11 on 4th down and 2.
Well, here's the mistake. You're going to get 2 linebackers in the same gap, and it just is wide open for Higdon. They're going the wrong gap. Higdon's in the B gap right on the outside of the guard right there. It's wide open for a first down.
Higdon off to a great start. 7 carries for 47 yards. First down and 10 at the 33. They pitch it out wide. Peoples-Jones down the field. And incomplete. Zach Gentry, the intended receiver, and a flag.
Pass interference. Defense number 14. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
That's Andre Brown.
And a pretty good pass from Donovan Peoples-Jones, and Gentry was trying to get back over there, and Andre Brown wouldn't allow it. Contact made. Excellent call by the officials. And Donovan Peoples-Jones, he took a big hit from Michael McFadden in the back end. Watch this, bang, right in his chest. Now he's going to have a better appreciation of what Shea Patterson goes through. When he comes back, he's like, hey, yo, I was open. Shea can be like, hey, remember that shot in the chest that you took?
Yeah.
I just took one myself.
First down and 10 at the 18-yard line after the pass interference penalty. Indiana showing blitz. Here they come. Evans. And when we talked to Pep Hamilton, the offensive coordinator for the Wolverines yesterday, he was very interesting in terms of his play selection and trying to pound their opponents.
Body blows. That's what I like to call them, in particular on these second down opportunities. You know, you could take a shot, try to go for it. That's kind of the new age college football, but he likes to throw those body blows early in the game and watch them pay off later.
Patterson gets it off before the end of the quarter, or does he? And that will take us to the end of the first quarter. Indiana with 116 yards of total offense. Michigan with 103. And the Hoosiers take a 7-3 lead into the second quarter. Back after this. First quarter.
Those rushing yards for Indiana, that's what pops off to me. I mean, we know Michigan's pass defense is #1 in America, but to run for 104 yards in the first quarter, I think Indiana has got to be thrilled with that.
Michigan's rushing defense ranked 13th in the nation, giving up 104 yards per game. 2nd and 6 at the 14 for Patterson as he hands it off to Chris Evans. And Chris Evans running straight through the hole into the arms of Mike Barwick and Gavin Everett. A 2-yard gain.
This is not foreign territory for Michigan. Now, they haven't been down like this much in the second quarter, but we've seen a lot of close games in the first half. And that's what then you were referring to, those body blows. When they start to pay dividends is more in the third and in the fourth quarter. As you see the fullback, Ben Mason in the game.
3rd down and 4 at the 12. Play fake. Patterson fires. And Gentry couldn't hold on.
He shorted him. He was wide open. And Patterson shorted him. Patterson rolls out, and he's just trying to guide this ball into the end zone for Gentry, and Gentry tries to come back for it. Probably should have caught that ball, but a really poor pass from Shea Patterson leads to another field goal attempt.
So Jake Moody comes in to attempt his 2nd field goal. This one from 30 yards away. His first was good from 32. And the Northville, Michigan native nails it. 7-6. Good sign for the Michigan kicking game. They may have found their guy.
It's Kia's Black Friday sales event. For a limited time, get $3,500 total cash on a 2019 Sorento V6 when financed through Kia Motors Finance. Hurry to your Kia dealer today.
Saturday only at Target. Get 20% off kids' gifts. 20% off Swift gifts. 20% off surprise gifts. And 20% off cozy gifts. Weekend deals. Only at Target.
Right now, all fries at Wendy's are just $1. That's a huge deal on any size of Wendy's natural cut sea salted goodness. But a deal this good won't last long. So get your dollar fries at Wendy's before they're gone.
Sorry, Aaron, I know this stings, but defense wins championships, and we're defending your truck now, so State Farm, you can pack those khakis and go.
Who's protecting my house?
Should I unpack my khakis?
No, you keep those khakis packed.
What's this?
Oh, it's your Switch Miss Future. For real?
Oh, you can use some Switch Miss Spirit.
Switch to Boost and get up to 4 free phones and 4 lines for just $100 a month.
Ooh.
New phones?
With unlimited gigs.
It's a Switch Miss miracle.
Switch to Boost and get 4 lines for just $100 a month, each with unlimited gigs, and get 4 free Samsung Galaxy J7 phones, all on Boost super reliable, super fast nationwide network. Boost makes it easy to switch. Switch Miss makes it easy to save.
Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Breathe, and it's a fan.
That's a tech van. Really, what's happening?
Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville.
Exclamation point!
North Carolina battles Texas.
Oh my goodness!
Then UCLA takes on Michigan State. The Las Vegas Invitational, this Thanksgiving on FS1.
Wisconsin lost! Purdue lost!
And that combination takes us to our current Big Ten standings presented by Discover, and that is what put Northwestern into the Big Ten championship game. You can be sure to tune in to that Big Ten championship game presented by Discover, December 1st on Fox. Gus, can't wait for that one.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Pat Fitzgerald, what a great football coach. We had him against Michigan at Northwestern. They were up in that game 17-0. Wolverines came back and won it. And they were coming off a loss to Akron prior to the Michigan loss.
And they had just lost their best offensive player to spinal stenosis. You know, I mean, just an unbelievable job by Pat Fitzgerald. Well, let's take a look at our winning duo sponsored by Volkswagen. Why settle for an SUV when you can have an SUVW? And so far today, it's been Peyton Ramsey and Stevie Scott. They've been really good on this offensive side on the ground. 2 rushes for Ramsey for 44 yards. Scott, 6 rushes, 61 yards, and a touch.
Well, you're taking my job. You're reading all the promos now. I mean, geez.
Hey, man, I just do what they tell me.
You are a one-man band, brother.
Stay in your lane, Joel.
First down and 10 at the 25. Scott, he's been wonderful, and Scott breaks it. Almost a big one if he could have kept his footing. But he's close to a first down. That's a 9-yard pickup.
I love his style, and again, he's got that burst to him, even as a big player, and it's causing Michigan fits right now.
Indiana quickly to the line of scrimmage. Ramsey rolls out underneath. First down, IU. Ty Fry Fogel. And I think that may be my favorite name in college football, Fry Fogel.
Yeah, it's a great name. And this is when Indiana is at their best, when everybody is touching the ball. They've got productivity all over their offense, and they're starting to show that right now.
First down and 10 at the 40-yard line for the Indiana Hoosiers. And it's Scott again. He'll lunge forward, pick up about 3 yards on the play.
But it only works if they can get a little success started on the ground. And that's why Stevie Scott's performance so far has been so important, because now it's starting to open up the pass game.
Now Ronnie Walker checks in at running back, number 23, 2nd and 7.
Looks like they jumped there.
Ball start. Offense number 62. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Brandon Knight, the right tackle. A little bit of an early start there as Peyton Ramsey was trying to maybe change the play, make a check on the outside, and that's going to set up one of these long yardage situations. You got to avoid these. This pass rush from Michigan is just too good.
2nd down and 12 to the 38-yard line. Walker, and he will go nowhere. Devin Bush, the All-American, with the tackle.
Check this out. Michigan's got 4 players over here overloading that right side of the offensive line for Indiana, and they create a situation where Devin Bush cannot be blocked by the numbers, and he makes the play.
Ramsey scrambling under pressure, and he'll dump it at the feet of his intended receiver. And a flag is on the play. Ronnie Walker, closest man to the football.
Yeah, they're going to get a hold on Brandon Knight way in the backfield. He just kind of tossed Quiddy Pay to the ground.
Holding. Offense number 62. The penalties decline. 4th down.
Watch 62. He's up at the top of your screen right here. He's working on Winovich, and then he kind of takes him, or excuse me, yeah, that's Winovich, and he just tosses him to the ground. Didn't see Winovich's hair in the look I had, so that's why I thought it was Quiddy Pay. As he just tosses him to the ground, clear penalty, and a nice job by the official there.
So on 4th down, Hayden Whitehead comes in to punt it away. He's averaging 40 yards on 43 kicks this season. Donovan Peoples-Jones is the deep man. Fields it on the run, makes the first man miss. And he'll get up to the 40-yard line, a 32-yard punt, 8-yard return. Khalil Bryant with the tackle on special teams. That brings on Shea Patterson. Good field position for this young man from Toledo, Ohio.
You okay there, Kurt?
We're about to move.
Karate helps relieve some of the house buying stress.
At least you don't have to worry about homeowners insurance. Call Geico.
Geico helps with Homeowners insurance?
Been doing it for years.
I'm calling Geico right now.
Good idea.
Get to know Geico and see how easy homeowners and renters insurance can be.
What if numbers tell only half the story? At T. Rowe Price, hundreds of our experts go beyond the numbers to examine investment opportunities firsthand. Like a biotech firm that engineers a patient's
dispute was resolved in 1837 in Ann Arbor with Sutherland. A man from Toledo, Ohio leads this Wolverine team. Here's Patterson to throw it underneath, and it's caught by Tariq Black. And you're excited to see Tariq Black.
I think he's their most talented wide receiver, and that is his first catch this season. He's a guy that had 11 catches as a true freshman. Then all of a sudden, he had a foot injury last year, missed the rest of the season, comes back to fall camp this year, has a foot injury again, Gus. They were so excited for him, and he's just working his way back. That was his first catch of the season. I think he's going to be big here down the stretch against Ohio State and then potentially in the Big Ten Championship.
Second down and 5, Peoples-Jones. The intended receiver, great coverage by Indiana's Jalen Williams.
I think this wide receiver crew is understated, maybe underrated as well. I mean, they are big, they're talented. Nico Collins, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Tariq Black. I think down the stretch here, Zach Gentry, the tight end's a great receiving tight end. Down the stretch, I think that they could do some damage in the passing game, but it's situations like this, Gus, where they got to make a play.
Third down and 5 at the 45. The IU defense has been very good here in the first half. Patterson underneath, and it's caught. Looks like first down for the Wolverines. Grant Perry found the soft spot, and he'll pick up 9.
Really good route by Grant Perry. Watch as it's coming out of the right side of your screen. Patterson's watching, and Perry just slowed down, let the routes clear in front of him, and then he sees that zone and just softly heads back into his left, and it's an easy conversion for the Wolverines.
So first down for Michigan at the Indiana 46. Chris Evans in the backfield with Patterson. Patterson underneath, caught on the move. Ronnie Bell, and Ronnie Bell taken down inside the 15.
How about Ronnie Bell? This guy has really come on for them as a freshman. He's the inside receiver, and he's just going to take off right across the field. He does a great job of getting behind that linebacker, gets his head around, and Patterson with an excellent throw right on his face mask, on time and accurate, allows for some yards after the catch. Ronnie Bell, the freshman, not highly recruited. Pep Hamilton finds him in Kansas City
playing basketball.
And trust me when I say playing basketball, this dude can jump out of the gym.
Gained 31 on that play. And they'll hand it off. True Wilson. Let's take a look at Ronnie Bell when he was in high school playing basketball. This is how they found him, doing stuff like that.
So Pep Hamilton says no one really knew about him. You know, he wasn't highly recruited. And then he goes to watch him play basketball late in the... There was only about 2 weeks till signing day. Pep's sitting in the stands, and he's seeing some of those dunks. He calls up Jim, and he's like, yeah, we got one. We got one. So they got him a scholarship, and he has worked out for them and been very good on the outside.
Second down and 8 at the 13 for the Wolverines. Patterson looking. Patterson floats one up and incomplete. Sean McCune, the intended receiver, that one thrown a tad high, brings up 3rd and 8.
It was the right idea, just a little too high, like you said, Gus, because McCune had the height advantage. McCune runs is 6'5". And if you want to deliver that ball near the pylon like Patterson was trying to do, you got to put that ball up in the air. But incomplete brings up this scenario, which they have not been great on, candidly, in this ball game.
3rd down, 8 at the 13. They're 1 of 5 on 3rd down conversions, as you mentioned. Tariq Black, the motion man. Patterson in trouble. Dances. Buys time. And an incomplete pass. And it was intended for number 88, Grant Perry.
Well, good coverage on this from Indiana. Just nowhere to go with the ball. Patterson doesn't want to roll out, but as he's looking first to his right, he even tries to come back left. Check out the coverage. Nowhere to go. Indiana doing a great job running with their man, and then ultimately Perry is unable to hang on as he's kind of going out of bounds. Good coverage right there.
So that brings on Jake Moody. Coach Harbaugh a little frustrated. Moody has hit a 32-yarder, a 30-yarder now from 31. And perfect.
Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Coming up on the State Farm halftime, see how the Buckeyes survived the Terps in OT. Notre Dame went all Bronx Bombers on Syracuse, and number 9 West Virginia forced to navigate a tricky one in Stillwater. Gus, Joel, back to you guys.
All right, Stoner, thank you very much. Right now, though, Jake Moody is at the center of attention.
Yeah.
3 field goals for this young man. And Joel, he connected on a 58-yarder against Grand Blanc last year in high school and a 57-yarder against Dearborn High as a senior.
Yep.
The 58-yarder is tied for the second longest kick in Michigan High School Athletic Association history. Indiana with the fair catch, and although Michigan's not scored touchdowns, this may be good for the Wolverines for this kid to get some experience.
I think this is what happened. In warm-ups, Quinn Nordine, the normal kicker, he came out and he's had some struggles. This was the last kick I saw him make in pregame warm-up. He comes up, basically, Gus hits a knuckleball, barely gets over the crossbar. The next rep for the field goal unit, Moody was in. He puts it right through the uprights, and I think Jim Harbaugh thought to himself, you know what, down the stretch versus maybe Ohio State, maybe today, maybe in the Big Ten championship game, I'm going to need a kicker that's going to make some kicks. And Moody has stepped up and done a great job so far.
First down and 10 at the 25, and Stevie Scott continuing to run well. And Quinn Nordine getting back to the Michigan kicker, 11 of 16 this year, but he's 0 for his last 2 in the last 3 games. Here's Ramsey stepping up in the pocket, delivers down the field, and he's got his receiver, Tinian. Terrific catch in front of Kennel, and that's a gain of 28.
The adjustment that he makes is just so good. Watch as he comes back over his right shoulder, and he just basically backflops here with the ball, secures it as he goes down to the ground. What a catch by Luke Timian.
First down at the 40-yard line for IU. Scott breaks it back, lowers his shoulder, and picks up 3. Khalid Hudson, Rashawn Gary on the tackle. You surprised, though, that Indiana can run it on the Wolverines the way they've been doing it?
The way they've been doing it, absolutely. And they've been so good here throughout the first half, running the football with Scott.
2nd and 7. Ramsey. That ball incomplete, and a flag on the play. Nick Westbrook was the target. And this may go against the Wolverines.
Looked like on that side, you had Lavert Hill, who was
holding. Defense number 24. 10 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
See, what happens here is he's going to pull himself to get even. This is not once the pass arrives. It's right here. He kind of pulls that jersey. See how the jersey is off the right shoulder of the wide receiver, Nick Westbrook? That's a heck of a call. Lavert Hill passed concussion protocol after last week's game against Rutgers to be able to be on the field today, but draws a penalty there.
First down to the 27. And Scott ambushed in the backfield by Chase Winovich.
They do a nice job here. Watch. He's going to get some pressure from the linebacker. That's Josh Ross. He takes up 2. And that's what allows Quiddy Pay to get back there and make the play.
2nd down and 10 of the 27. And he'll hand it off to Scott. He'll spin forward. And get to the 23-yard line. Devin Bush, Josh Ross combining on the tackle.
And they tried to run that same little stunt that I showed you earlier where they overload one side of the Indiana offensive line with 4 defensive players. The only problem is that Indiana ran it inside, and that's why there was just a hair of a seam in that Michigan defense.
A 4-yard gain, 3rd and 6 at the 23. And a timeout called by the Wolverines.
Guys, timeout, Michigan.
9-7 our score. Back after this.
In the history of Earth, we have plenty of evidence of things going wrong. If we go to Mars, you don't want any surprises.
What's wrong with my baby?
Mars. New episode Monday at 9 on National Geographic.
Did you know with Vanishing Deductible, you can earn $100 off your deductible for every year of safe driving? Sing that.
Vanishing Deductible. You can
earn $100
off
your deductible. For every year of safe driving.
For every year of safe driving.
What key you in?
E.
No, G.
G will be too high.
Not for me.
Vanishing Deductible.
Oh, gosh. Sweet.
Dave & Buster's introduces unlimited video game play and unlimited wings for just $19.99 every Thursday, Sunday, and Monday. All-you-can-eat wings and endless video games for $19.99 only at Dave & Buster's.
Find a song and sing it round, 'cause you found what you've been dreaming of. Yeah, you know that this is really love.
Oh. Living with ammonia odor? Not a pretty picture. Luckily, Tidy Cat's lightweight with ammonia blocker tackles tough odor, even ammonia.
So long, stink face.
Ammonia like that? There's a Tidy Cats for that.
How did Arby's finally make the turkey sandwich exciting? We deep fried it. Just the turkey part, not the whole sandwich. For now.
Arby's, we have the meat.
For sandwiches.
Being in love is an amazing thing. Being in love with your best friend is everything. This is Ever Us. One diamond for your best friend, one for your true love. For the one woman who's both.
I just got my cashback match. Is this for real?
Yep. We match all the cashback new card members earn at the end of their first year.
Automatically. Whoa, I got my money.
It's hard to contain yourself, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Well, let it go. Woo.
Get a $1 match at the end of your first year, only from Discover.
9-7 Michigan leading Indiana. Here in Ann Arbor, aerial coverage is brought to you by our good neighbors at State Farm. Partner, I love the way this Indiana team is competing. They're playing with a sense of urgency, discipline. And right now they're faced with a 3rd and 6 at the Michigan 23. They're 3 of 5 on 3rd down conversions. Peyton Ramsey in the backfield. Here's Ramsey. Dances out of the pocket, throws on the run, and incomplete. Good pressure by Michigan. Khaleke Hudson with the pressure. And Indiana will attempt a field goal.
Wasn't only Hudson, but watch as Devin Bush also from that side. They're basically going to come on a 2-man pressure, and because Bush is there, he takes up the sight line of the offensive tackle, who then can't get outside to Hudson, who becomes a free rusher, and Ramsey's got to bail out.
So Logan Justice, who kicked the game-winning 42-yard field goal with 2:30 remaining to beat Maryland last week. He's the Big Ten Special Teams Player of the Week, into attempt 1 from 41 yards. And it's good. Logan Justice with the 41-yarder. And he gives IU a 10-9 lead.
It's Kia's Black Friday sales event. For a limited time, get $3,500 total cash on a 2019 Sorento V6 when financed through Kia Motors Finance. Hurry to your Kia dealer today.
Tonight on Fox, Heisman contending quarterback Kyler Murray and number 6 Oklahoma continue their march toward the Big 12 title game as they take on Kansas. That's at 7:30 Eastern on Fox, or watch anywhere on the Fox Sports app. Looks like the Jayhawks are going to be getting a new coach. We're very familiar with.
Yeah, what a get that would be for them, you know, to get a guy that
Les Miles
has been on the big stage. Les Miles reportedly in the final stages of becoming the next Kansas head coach. I know Les would have had some chances elsewhere as well. You know, people looking at Les this offseason and going to give him a shot, and he wanted to get back in there. He's a ball coach, wanted to get back on the sidelines, and the only problem he's got at Kansas is this artificial turf, so he can't eat the grass.
And this ball kicked out of bounds, a flag on the play.
Free kick out of bounds, kicking team.
Smoller.
Ball be placed at the 35-yard
kick
line.
it short.
First down.
And kicks it out of bounds. Let's go to Greg Wolf for a game break.
Gus, thank you. Huge stakes as number 3 Notre Dame and number 12 Syracuse meet at Yankee Stadium. Ian Book, he missed last week with a rib injury. It's Chase Claypool, Book's second touchdown pass of the day, and it's been all Irish. They lead the Orange 29-0, fourth quarter. Gus, Joel, back to you.
Michigan familiar with that Notre Dame team. Yeah. Losing to Notre Dame first game of the season. Since then, the Wolverines have won 9 in a row. First down and 10 at the 35. Higdon. Well, make that Chris Evans running it. And Evans will pick up 4 yards on the play.
I'm impressed with this Indiana defense, in particular some of these young linebackers. You got a couple of freshmen in here. Micah McFadden, 47, Thomas Allen, 44. 44 Thomas Allen is Tom Allen, the head coach's son. He and Micah McFadden actually played high school football together in the Tampa area when Tom was the defensive coordinator at South Florida. So that's how they knew each other. That's how they got Micah McFadden up to Indiana.
On second down and 6, now Higdon in the game. I agree with you. And this Indiana team over the last few years, they played Michigan really, really well.
2 of the last 3 years, Indiana has taken Michigan to overtime. Both of those were at Indiana. 2 years ago here in Ann Arbor, it was a 10-point affair, 20-10. So this Indiana team understands how to play Michigan tough, and they've done it each and every year, in particular under Tom Allen.
Third down and 4 at the 41. Near side, Nico Collins looking for the first down, and he may have it.
What a block outside by Grant Perry. Watch 88. Grant Perry, he's just going to come out here. He's going to come all the way on the outside, and he gets the block that ultimately springs him. Boom, right there. And he just needed a little extra at the end, and Perry's the one that springs him as he blocks 14 Andre Brown.
So on 3rd and 4, Wolverines get 5. 1st and 10 at the 46. They're running straight ahead with Higdon. Higdon getting downhill. Damian Willis brings him down after a 7-yard pickup.
Here's that situation that you spoke of earlier. Pep Hamilton, the offensive coordinator for Michigan, talked about 2nd and short in the second quarter. He likes big body blows. Don't be surprised here with the fullback Ben Mason in the game if they just go ahead and get right downhill in order to try to soften this defense up for later.
2nd down and 3 at the 47. Out of the eye. Higdon, the deep man. They give it to him. Second man through. Higdon cuts it back, picks up a first down. Coach Hamilton, who is one of the most talented young coaches in all of college football, should be a head coach very soon, feels that these body shots, as you mentioned, Joel, they pay off in the 1st and 2nd drives of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and a lot of times in particular when you get into those plays when you would say plus side of the 50, there's Pep Hamilton there. Pep's done a great job. I mean, all the way back to his days at Stanford with Andrew Luck, with the Colts. He was with the Browns for a while. Now he's back here with Harbaugh at Michigan. But he likes to soften them up so that defensive front 7 gets tired.
Patterson delivers down the field, wide open. Nicky Eubanks, touchdown, Wolverines. 41 yards. That touchdown, Parker set up by the running game.
No doubt about it. Linebackers get up near the line of scrimmage, and that allows a tight end to go right down the the field, and he does a great job of letting the route clear out in front of him, and then bang, he just cuts across the field, and it's going to be 6 for Michigan. Good ball by Shea Patterson, right on his face mask, allows for those yards after the catch, and a big strike from the Wolverine offense.
Nick Eubanks, lean and mean, 6'5", 252, and he can run it.
Well, looks like they're going to go for 2 here, up 5. I never like chasing points too early, but mathematically this is the right call.
Chris Evans in the backfield. Patterson off his back foot. And incomplete. Eubanks, the intended receiver, almost had it. So Michigan with 4:46 to play in the second quarter. They score the big touchdown with Nick Eubanks and lead by 5.
There are those who stand forever ready. Ready to defend the nation. Ready to fight for what matters. No matter what. Do you have what it takes? Find out at GoArmy.com/warriors.
Postcards from Fansville, sponsored by Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville. No better crowd in all of sports than the ones that show up to watch the University of Michigan play.
You know, I thought it was interesting. I went down on the field like I do every week, and here you don't go back into the tunnel to get the elevator. You basically just walk up the stairs to then come back up to the press box. And Gus, to a fan, they were all like, hey, we want Ohio State to win. Did Ohio State pull it out? Because they want that game next week to be for all the marbles.
In the meantime, let's go downstairs and check in with JT. Jenny.
Well, something to keep in mind, guys, it seemed to be a lot of confusion on that call on offense going for 2. Coach Harbaugh was really disappointed. He was motioning that the guys weren't looking his way. They weren't paying attention, and it was a frustrated offense coming off the field after that miss, guys.
Okay, thank you very much.
Well, and it was Eubanks that was the last offensive player back on the field for the 2-point play. He's the one that caught the touchdown, and in the celebration after the touchdown, he then didn't get the sign and was the last on the field. They attempted to go right back to him, and he was unable to bring it in.
First down to the 25 for Indiana. Ramsey over the middle with a catch. Westbrook close to the first down. He'll gain 9 on the play.
Boy, that was a huge changeup for Michigan. They ran just a pure zone defense there, and Peyton Ramsey does a great job of recognizing it and just dumps it in the soft area.
Second down and 1 at the 34. Scott, who's had a monster first half, picks up the first down.
Boy, and you got to give a lot of credit to his coach, Mike Hart. Mike Hart, the all-time leading rusher here for the University of Michigan, is now the running back coach for Indiana. He's also right now a Broyles Award finalist for the best assistant coach in America, and he's done a great job with these young backs.
First down, Scott, as Rashawn Gary comes up with a tackle as Scott crosses the line of scrimmage. But Stevie Scott, 14 carries, 91 yards in the first half against the #1 defense in America.
And he wasn't all that heavily recruited, in part because he had an injury his senior year of high school, limited him to only 3 games, but he is certainly healthy now and is very explosive. He was ranked just the 89th running back nationally. I can tell you this right now. That's better than the 89th running back I've seen as a true freshman.
Second down and 9. Scott again. I don't know how Dino Babers let him get out of Syracuse.
Well,
should have taken him to Grimaldi's or something.
It was really more about Mike Hart, and that was the relationship that Stevie Scott formed back there when Mike Hart recruited him and then ultimately got him down to Indiana as Mike made his way to Indiana.
Third down and 7 at the 42.
Those running backs stick together, you know what I mean?
Yes, they do. Peyton Ramsey in trouble. Ramsey gets to the edge. Ramsey dives. And he has the first down.
What a run. I mean, what a run. And the extension at the end. to get it across. That's Kwity Paye, number 19, who's chasing after him. And Ramsey does an unbelievable job of extending that ball out towards the first down marker and ultimately moving the chains. Boy, his feet have been an absolute weapon for Indiana in this ballgame.
3 carries, 51 yards for Ramsey. And Scott again. And Jenny Taft has a cool story on Stevie Scott. Jenny.
Well, guys, you guys briefly mentioned the relationship between Coach Mike Hart and Stevie Scott. He has known Stevie since he was 6 years old. He grew up with his father, and he always knew he was a special talent, guys.
Here's Ramsey to throw it. Winds up down the field with the receiver. Caught inside the Michigan 10. Nick Westbrook. And what a throw by Peyton Ramsey.
On the money from Ramsey. Nick Westbrook does a great job releasing off the line of scrimmage, and then he stacks the defensive back, gets out in front of him, and then Ramsey delivers just an excellent ball.
A 42-yard gain, first down and goal to the Michigan 8. Scott.
But it all comes off of that run game. It doesn't have to necessarily be play action, but it's the fact that they're able to gain yards with Stevie Scott and allow that rush to slow down just a hair so that Ramsey has enough time to put the ball down the field. Indiana now with 142 on the ground.
Second down and goal at the 7. Ramsey to the corner. Touchdown, Indiana. Ty Fry-Fogel. And how about this? 1:33 remaining. That's the 5th lead change here in the first half. Indiana with the lead.
What a route by Ty Fry-Fogel. Excellent job of going back to his right shoulder. Ramsey puts it right where he needs to, and this is why you play a conference opponent before your rival at the end of the season.
Is that a shot at the SEC?
Absolutely.
Extra point up and good. The Indiana Hoosiers have come into Ann Arbor, and they are telling the Michigan Wolverines, the 4th-ranked team in the nation, don't think it's gonna be an easy day. Bring a lunch.
Rated M for mature.
Shall we dance on the bright sound of music? Shall we walk? Shall we dance? Shall we then say goodnight and mean goodbye? Shall we dance? Shall we dance? Shall we dance?
The last time Indiana beat Michigan in Ann Arbor came 51 years ago in 1967. The year also marked Indiana's last Big Ten championship. They were ranked as high as 4th in the AP poll and played in the Rose Bowl, losing to number 1 USC. (17-15) our score.
This has been one of the most one-sided matchups in all of college football over the years, but this Indiana team, they played so well a week ago against Maryland, doing the same today.
Here's that short kick again, and it's fair caught at the 40-yard line. Don't forget, coming up at the half, Rob Stone, Matt Leinart, and Dave Wanstead are all standing by with the State Farm halftime show. And how about these numbers, partner? Michigan allows 219 yards per game. Indiana already has 249 in the first half.
Yeah, this offense, starting with the run game with Stevie Scott, they got that going early. It slowed down the rush, and now they've been able to throw the ball down the field. And some of these big wide receivers have been a problem for the man coverage that the Wolverines lean on so much.
So first down for Michigan. At the 39, Patterson out of the pocket to Evans. Evans with some nice yards after the catch. As he gains 4, Damian Willis brings him down.
Going to need to hurry here because obviously the clock running without a first down. Only 1 timeout for Michigan.
2nd and 6. Patterson over the middle. Wide open. open receiver is Gentry. What a run! This kid's 6 feet 8 inches. What a run! Bryant with the tackle. That's a gain of 42.
Had to be a blown coverage because Gentry was wide open as soon as he got over the top of the linebackers. And Patterson did a great job of locating him and then getting them the ball quickly as a couple of Indiana players now go down to the turf after the end of the run. Here's the route. Watch as Gentry's going to get to the outside, and then he's just going to go right down the field, and immediately Patterson locates him as the safety was way to the left side of the field. Gentry did a great job. This is what it's called keeping the width of the route. Don't go run and get covered getting next to the safety. He kept the width of the route. He stays wide, and Patterson hit him for a big play.
And Zach Gentry, while we were meeting with the coaches in the lobby yesterday at the Michigan facility, Gentry came over to see Jenny, as a lot of the players do, because of our interviews, and we looked up at him, Joel, and we were like, wow, this kid play for John Beeline?
Some guys are listed at like 6'8", and you're like, oh, okay, he's 6'6". He walked up and you looked at me and you goes, oh, he's 6'8".
Yes.
No doubt about it.
Remember, he came to Michigan as a number 4 rated quarterback, a 4-star quarterback.
It was really Harbaugh's first quarterback recruit. And he was a 3-year starter in high school at quarterback. Had 2 state semifinal appearances, but has made a nice transition down to tight end.
First down and 10 at the 15. Patterson handles the high snap, hands it off to Evans. He slices through the Indiana defense, gets to the 10.
And the clock will continue to run now. We got 36-35, and they need to get going.
2nd and 5 of the 10. Evans again, jitterbugging, and he gets close to a first down.
Well, you might think about a timeout, and Harbaugh will do that, and he will call the timeout after a couple of run plays. Pretty conservative there as we got inside of 30 seconds, and now they're going to have to at least, at a minimum, convert and maybe start getting the ball into the end zone.
3rd down and 2 coming up for Tom Allen's team. Coach Allen in his 2nd full season as the Indiana head coach at 48 years old. And I love the way they compete.
We had his first game as a head coach. Took the interim tag off, and he was hired before the bowl game, the Foster Farms Bowl, a couple of years ago when they played Utah. Really should have won the game. Utah ended up winning late. I think it was 26-24 was the score of that ball game, Gus. But Tom, you could tell he had an infectious personality. He's got a lot of energy. He handles the defense. And this defense under him today, they've played really well in the red zone. 3 red zone trips for Michigan have resulted in 3 field goals. They got the long touchdown from Eubanks. But every time they've driven it down into this position, Indiana has bowed their neck and forced a kicking. Jake Moody field goal opportunity.
3rd down and 2 at the 7-yard line. For the Wolverines, late substitutions for Indiana. Now they'll call a timeout. They have 1 remaining.
They were shocked at what Michigan brought out there because Ben Mason, the big fullback, number 42, 254 pounds, was lined up as the tailback. Indiana had their nickel defense out there ready for 4 wide receivers, a passing look, and then big Ben Mason runs out there as the tailback, and Tom Allen's like, I'm not going to watch him just scamper into the end zone. So a really solid timeout for strategy and scheme by Tom Allen after Michigan broke their huddle. Looks like Michigan was planning on going with Ben Mason and then having a second play call ready right away to get back on the line of scrimmage. So the clock would stop if they're able to convert. They were going to get back right onto the line of scrimmage. He's got 6 touchdowns this year, Ben Mason, so he carries it. Inertia is what Coach Harbaugh calls him in the backfield. This guy, if they do give it to him, get ready for them to get right back onto the football and have a second play call ready.
So 3rd down and 2. Mason powering forward, picks up the first down. No timeouts for the Wolverines.
And Harbaugh just said, wind it, wind it, wind it, like we know what we're doing. Here comes our second play call.
Mason remains in the game. Patterson drops it off. Oh, what a tackle. McCune with the catch, but Devon Matthews drops him immediately. 2 seconds.
What a stop for Indiana and Tom Allen, and he is elated on the sideline. Some mismanagement there by both the officials and the Michigan offense. The official dropped the ball while he was running in to try to spot it quickly, and as he tried to basically operate a little faster than he could, they were unable to get the ball snapped. You see the umpire talking to Jim Harbaugh. He said, I couldn't get it spotted in time. And there's nothing they can do, and that's the risk you run if you do not take the shot into the end zone. Great play by Indiana. What a hold.
So how about this? Indiana heads into the locker room with a 17-15 lead over the 4th-ranked team in the nation. Let's go to Rob Stone in L.A. Partner, I tell you, this Indiana team came in. We knew what was at stake for them. One more win, and they're bowl eligible, and they're playing with urgency.
Aren't they? I mean, I got to tell you, I've loved what they've done on offense, and then they've come up with those huge stands on the defensive side as well. If you take a look at the way that this game has gone, essentially you've got a few plays being made by each offense. Starts with Stevie Scott. He's able to get into the end zone. Then Patterson, he finds Eubanks. They go for 2, don't get it. Indiana goes right back down the field. Freifogel finds the end zone, and then this was the huge sequence at the end. Indiana stops Michigan. Then watch right here. You've got a kick by Damian Willis. He kicks the ball away from the umpire, which doesn't allow the umpire to get down and spot it. Look how he goes down with the left foot. Now, the umpire has a subjective call to make there, whether that's going to be a delay game or not. But with his head down looking at the ball, he's really got no way of knowing the intent of that left foot of Damian Willis, and that is a non-reviewable play. So Jim Harbaugh now, whose defense has given up more points, more total yards, and more rushing yards in one half than they have in season averages, has his team down 2 and struggling in the red zone so far.
Indiana to receive to start the second half. And this one into the end zone for a touchback. Let's go downstairs to Jenny.
Well, Gus, quickly, just to end on what Joel was just talking about and that kick, I was standing with Coach Harbaugh when all that was taking place. He was really frustrated, obviously, by the play, and frustrated when he was walking off the field heading into that half. I asked him about those 144 rush yards Michigan allowed in the first. That's the most they've allowed all year in a first half. He said, we need to tighten up. As for Tom Allen, he said, my guys are fired up. We knew coming into this we would have to play hard, run the ball, stop the run, and then he said, we got to finish this out.
All right, first down and 10 at the 25 for Indiana. Stevie Scott will gain a yard. Chase Winovich with the tackle. Scott with a tremendous first half. 96 yards rushing on 17 carries in the first half. Second down and 9. Over the middle and incomplete. Ramsey.
And this is exactly what Michigan needs to do, is win on first down so that they can create long yardage situations and get that pass rush on the field so that they can affect Peyton Ramsey. I think it's been their inability to stop the run on early downs that has led to the success of Indiana. We'll see if they can get home here as Ramsey has 4 wide receivers to his right.
Indiana 4 of 7 on third down conversions. Third down and 9 to the 26. Here's Ramsey. Bounces out. Throws it backside, incomplete. Michigan bringing pressure again. Michael Dwumfor, who had the interception in the first half with great pressure.
And Kwity Paye also in the backfield. Dwumfor and Paye were on little loop stunts, starting inside and then looping around the outside. And they were right in Ramsey's face as he retreated towards his own end zone, and Michigan gets off the field right away.
Hayden Whitehead will punt it away from his own 12. Donovan Peoples-Jones, the return man for Michigan, standing at the 34. And it's fair caught at the 33. A 41-yard punt brings Shea Patterson onto the field for the first time here in the second half.
This offense, you know, I'm sitting here at halftime, and Gus, I'm thinking about, okay, what are the adjustments that these teams are going to make? Offensively for Michigan, it's just finishing drives. They've been in the red zone now 4 times. They've kicked 3 field goals and then settled there into the drive at the 1-yard line at the end of the half. So what they need to do is make sure that they're finishing off the drives that are successful and ending up in the red zone.
First down and 10 at the 33 for the Wolverines. Higdon, a single setback. And they'll give it to him running right this time. Chops his feet and will be tackled at the line of scrimmage. Jerome Johnson, the redshirt sophomore from Bassfield, Mississippi, makes the tackle.
I really like Johnson. On film, you see him. He flashes sometimes. A good run stuffer. He was an honorable mention Big Ten all-freshman player a year ago. Came into today's ball game with 26 tackles, which for a young defensive lineman, that's pretty good production from the interior.
A 1-yard gain, 2nd and 9 to the 34. Indiana looks like they want to bring people. Here they come. Patterson in trouble. Patterson trying to square his shoulders and will throw it out of bounds. I think Indiana, partner, and correct me if I'm wrong, they're doing a nice job disguising some of their blitzes.
Well, not only that, but they're doing a good job in man coverage on the outside, staying close to these receivers. You see there's no space. No one's winning. And so Patterson is having to pat the ball in the pocket, and that's what's allowing some of that pressure, Gus, to get home. And then he's got to race out of the pocket. I think it's really those defensive backs that have done such an outstanding job.
3rd down, 9 at the 34. Patterson over the middle and caught for first down. Donovan Peoples-Jones, a 16-yard gain.
How about this from Peoples-Jones? Watch as he's in the middle of your screen and he just kind of settles down in that soft spot of the zone. He does a great job. He recognizes zone coverage and see how he just kind of shuttles down and he settles down, gives his chest to the quarterback. It's an easy first down for Michigan.
From midfield. Shea Patterson to throw to the sideline. Caught, and it's Nico Collins. But when you look at the roster for Indiana, Joel, you see guys from Georgia, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Jacksonville, Florida, Tampa, Florida, Memphis, Tennessee. Well, that's a lot of guys from the South who can run have come up and played at Indiana.
And you're seeing some of that speed. But remember, Tom Allen, he was a coach under Hugh Freeze at Ole Miss. Then he was at South Florida. So he's got ties to that region. And he's done a great job of maintaining those relationships and recruiting well for Indiana out of the South.
On first down, Chris Evans breaks it back. And Evans gets to the 30-yard line. Jonathan Crawford from Largo, Florida with the tackle.
And that's why it's so important for Indiana to get the 6th victory. Obviously trying to get it 2 points up at Michigan here against the 4th-ranked team in the country. They've got the Old Oaken Bucket game against Purdue to finish things off. They desperately need that 6th victory because Tom Allen knows that his young players need to develop, and the extra practices they would get in a bowl season would be invaluable.
2nd down and 3 at the 30. Patterson, play fake. Peoples-Jones with the catch, and he runs a nice slant and gets close to the 15-yard line. A 14-yard gain. Fitzgerald with the tackle.
And here's one of the new wrinkles that Michigan has, and it's kind of an RPO-style concept where you've got play action in the backfield. Patterson is reading the linebacker, and as soon as that linebacker commits, he goes right behind him to Donovan Peoples-Jones, who ran a great route, was patient off the line of scrimmage, and then found a lot of space.
First down at the 16. Play fake, Patterson over the middle, incomplete. Tariq Black looks like he had a step, but well defended by Raheem Lane, the sophomore from DeLand, Florida.
Boy, and this was a great ball by Patterson. He puts it right there, and he's got his hands on it, Black does, but unable to bring it down. And Raheem Lane, another one of these young players from Florida, like we were just discussing, with great coverage there in the back end.
2nd down and 10 of the 16. Peoples-Jones in motion. breaks a tackle. Higdon with some hard running. And he'll get to the Indiana 10-yard line before being brought down by Brandon Wilson.
Just such a good cut. He gets away from Micah McFadden. Watch as he's heading here, and then he's going to bounce it right back to the inside. Micah McFadden is going to come up right at his legs, and he just gives a little stop before he heads back to his right and gains more yardage.
12 carries, 69 yards for Higdon.
It's Alfred Bryant, number 92, freshman from Fresno, Texas, who's down for Indiana. He was a teammate of Mackenzie Norwa, an offensive lineman here at Indiana. 6'2", 254 pounds. Played 3 years of basketball in high school. He's an athletic guy, and looks like at the end of this play, watching for just kind of gets leg whipped there, and he's going to limp off. Well, we've seen a lot of players on this defense for Indiana. They're showing their depth. A lot of the young players that were listed as backups getting a chance to play. Alfred Bryant is one of those guys.
I'll tell you what I am seeing with this Indiana team under Coach Tom Allen in his second full season. You're starting to see athletes on this roster.
Yeah. And usually where that turns up first is turnovers, because you're creating speed and collision, and that's one of the things that this defense has been so good at. 24 turnovers on the year. That's 4th in the country.
And the Hoosiers will call a timeout. 11:05 to go, third quarter. Michigan threatening, down 17-15.
We saved hundreds on our car insurance when we switched to Geico.
Leaders for this Michigan team.
Shea, pretty consistent, has taken care of the ball. Karan Higdon, 69 yards on the ground. He's been pretty good. No one's really gotten loose for Michigan yet. Eubanks, the one time they did get a deep ball, found the end zone for 41 yards.
Third down and 4 at the 10. Michigan 1 of 4 on third down conversions in the red zone today. Higdon, and he'll pick up the first down. A power run as the Michigan offensive line really fires off the football. So on 3rd and 4, the Wolverines get 5, and it sets up 1st and goal at the 5.
And Higdon took a little bit of a shot in the back. Watch right here. You're going to get some pressure from the outside of Higdon. Bang, he's going to take a shot right there. Doesn't go down, keeps his legs churning, and ultimately finds himself across the line to gain, moving the chains. What an effort there by Karan Higdon.
Karan Higdon, 5'10", 202 pounds. 1st and goal to the 5-yard line. Mason. And he'll gain a yard.
Not a lot of movement up front. Heck of a job by Caton Samuels, number 52. He was a grad transfer from Syracuse. Graduated in May. Big nose tackle, got right under the center and guard and just caused a big pile. Mason had nowhere to go because of big 52, Caton Samuels.
2nd and goal with the 4. Higdon back in and running back. Play fake. Over the middle. Incomplete. And a flag. Zach Gentry, the intended receiver. Damian Willis.
Pass interference. Defense, number 43. By rule, the ball be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
Well, this is the route on the other side. They were trying to get a little one-on-one. Damian Willis, number 43, he was trying to get Gentry as he released up the field right down the middle. Here's the contact right there. Clearly contact, never gets around, and Gentry had no ability to get back to that pass. Damian Willis, who got away with that little kick of the football at the end of the first half, unable to get away with that one.
1st down and goal to the 2. Power formation for the Wolverines. Higdon, touchdown Michigan.
answer for this Michigan offense after a tough first half. Remember, it started with Higdon really in the red zone, converting on third down, keeping his legs driving, and then there, just a huge push from that left side of the offensive line for the Wolverines, and they're in the end zone.
Jake Moody comes in to attempt the extra point. And it's good. 6 lead changes in this game. Higdon pays it off. And the Wolverines lead it 22-17.
Rated M for mature.
A great game so far, very competitive. The Hoosiers.
I think it's imperative for Indiana to stay on the field. I think Stevie Scott needs to be featured on this drive because that was an 11-play drive by the Michigan offense, and you started to see that ground and pound take its course, right?
That's right.
I think Indiana's offense needs to stay out here, and the guy to do that is going to be Stevie Scott.
The Hoosiers come back on the field. Will start at the 25. There's Stevie Scott.
Yeah, and he's going to be our hardest working player, sponsored by Duluth Trading Company. Tough, ingenious workwear designed and tested by tradesmen. And this is an important series. He's been great today. Gus, 1897, a touchdown, just a true freshman. He's a big back. I think they need to get him going here on early downs. Watch on first down. Indiana try to get some of this run game incorporated to allow Ramsey to have easier third down opportunities.
Looking for his 5th 100-yard game of the season. 1st and 10 of the 25. And Scott tries to get outside. The Michigan defense swarming. And Stevie Scott will pick up a yard. Noah Furbush, the senior, coming up with the tackle.
And that defense was ready for exactly what we had talked about, trying to set up situations where this pass rush can get after it.
2nd down and 9 of the 26. Ramsey underneath has his receiver, Nick Westbrook. And Westbrook picks up a first down. He's had a terrific game. That's a 14-yard pickup.
And I love Ramsey's ability to understand the coverage. That was a zone coverage. He dumps it off, gets the chains moved.
1st down and 10 of the 40-yard line. Ramsey again, this time to the sideline, near side. Back shoulder throw for Westbrook. He just couldn't hang on to it.
Westbrook has been a problem for them. He's 6'3", 215, and in man coverage, that's an issue. These big receivers, and we've seen it all year long. Texas receivers are big. These Michigan receivers are big. Man coverage is just tough against these guys.
Westbrook 2 catches, 55 yards. 2nd and 10 at the 40. And some movement on the Indiana offensive line.
Ball start. Offense number 54. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
It's Coy Cronk. There's the left tackle there, and just gives a flinch as he's going against Chase Winovich. And they've done a nice job against Chase Winovich. We have not called Chase Winovich's name all that often. We'll see here, though, in a long yardage situation, if 15 can get loose.
2nd down and 15 at the 35. Peyton Ramsey over the middle again for Westbrook, and Westbrook with another first down. The crossing routes have been really effective against Michigan today.
And Westbrook just understands the space, Gus, which is so good. He just settles into those areas, and Ramsey has found the ability to get him the ball accurately.
He picked up 20 there. 3 catches for 75 yards. Stevie Scott fumble, and Michigan has the ball. 2nd turnover of the game for Indiana. First an interception, now a fumble. Khalid Hudson with the recovery.
And it was Kwity Paye with that right hand right on the ball, and the Viper back. Khalid Hudson Right place, right time for the recovery. And this defense gets the job done. This is when this coaching staff says we like to impose our will on the opponent. This middle of the third quarter, second series of the third quarter. This is when Pep Hamilton says, hey, this is when we start popping big runs and getting big plays.
Evans will run it, and Evans gets to midfield. A 7-yard gain. Brandon Wilson with the tackle.
It's not necessarily that they have to dial up big plays, but it's all those body blows that we talked about in the first and second quarter. What happens is the defense is a step slow here and a step slow there. And these same plays that they've been calling all day, they start going for now 6, 7, 8 yards, maybe a big gain down the field.
Second down and 3 at the 50. Patterson hit as he throws and intercepted. Indiana gets it back. Marcelino Ball with the pick. And that's the first interception thrown by Patterson since the Maryland game.
What a move by Ball. He puts on the left tackle, Runyon. John Runyon goes way outside to his left to try to block Marcelino Ball. He comes inside, hits Patterson in the chest. First down, Hoosiers.
Thanksgiving on FS1.
Indiana forcing Michigan's first turnover of the game on this play.
Here's Damian Willis, and he's the one that's just going to come in and put it right on Patterson, and then Marcelino Ball with the pick because it was overthrown. What a job by that defense.
First down and 10. They swing it out wide up high. Timian again with the catch. He'll pick up 4 yards, but Indiana has been one of the nation's top teams in takeaways all season. #1 in the Big Ten, #4 nationally. That's their 25th of the season.
And that one was a big one, coming off the turnover of their own offense.
Second and 6. Ramsey out of the pocket now. And just throws it into the stands. And Chase Winovich is down.
He was being blocked on the outside by Brandon Knight and Simon Stepanak. There's Winovich, number 15, and you see he just gets kind of thrown down there, and he lands awkwardly on this left side, and then Stepanak lunged after him and jumped on top of him. That is not a good look from Stepanak. His quarterback had already left the pocket. Boy.
Stepanak, 6'4", 311, from Hamilton, Ohio, redshirt junior. Winovich, 6'3", 255.
Boy, you never like to see that. You know, I mean, just diving on a guy on the ground for no reason at all.
I'm the play-by-play announcer who's in your ear all game long. The more praise I heap on your team, the more excited you get. Touchdown! Now, you don't hear the upstairs toilet overflowing, but I don't mean with confidence. You wanted a bowl season? You got a bowl season. And if I could show up on game day, imagine what could happen the rest of the week. So get Allstate and be better.
22-17. Chase Winovich walked off the field on his own. Michael Dwumfor had some strong words for Stepanak about this play.
And rightly so. Stepanak could have easily been called and probably should have been called for unnecessary roughness as he piled on Winovich there late. Really no need for that. The right guard got away with one there right in front of the official, John O'Neill, the white hat, which was watching the play.
Third down and 6 at the 44. Majette in motion out of the backfield. Ramsey runs it with room, and he picks up the first down. Peyton Ramsey, what a gutsy performance today. A 7-yard gain for the redshirt sophomore from Cincinnati.
That's a risk you take. When you play man coverage, you let all your linebackers go cover somebody on the outside. There was nobody there on the second level.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Stevie Scott breaking one. And he has another first down. Look at this true freshman run the football. Flag on the play as he gets close to the Michigan 25.
And the guy that they put in the read for the zone read was the new defensive end, Aiden Hutchinson, the freshman who comes in for Winovich, number 97.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Offense number 72. 10 yards from the end of the run. First down.
So now they finally get Stepanak for unnecessary roughness, and you're going to see it at the end of the play. He comes in, and there's another cheap shot. Simon Stepanak has got to calm down. These are plays that you just can't make, in particular as a veteran player. It's a redshirt junior. He's got to be better than that from his right guard spot.
1st and 10 at the 44. Ramsey. And Ramsey sacked by Bush. Devin Bush.
How about this? You're going to get inside from Rashawn Gary and outside from Devin Bush. And we've seen that a couple of times when those two elite players are on the same side rushing the quarterback. They've gotten home. They've gotten to Ramsey, and they do it again there.
A loss of 11. First sack of the day for Michigan. 2nd and 21 for Indiana. Ramsey setting up a screen. Michigan all over it.
Boy, that defense responded after Stevie Scott got loose. Stepanak with the unnecessary roughness, and then boom, pressure right away. And now another long yardage situation with this defense, and now the crowd into it. I might think about just handing it off.
3rd and 21 at the 45.
Their big play guy on the outside right now is Nick Westbrook. He's the one that has been great all day long.
Ramsey out wide. Timian. And Timian will gain a yard. Michigan's defense swarming Tyree Kinnell.
Boy, it's like they came alive after that penalty was called. Smart play called by Indiana, not trying to get too greedy and get a big conversion there and just flying around from that defense.
Seems like they came alive when Winovich went out of the game on the cheap shot from Stepanak.
And they saw it, they knew it. Scott got a nice run after that. Another cheap shot, and they thought, okay, time to fly around, and they certainly did that.
Hayden Whitehead will punt it away. From the 34, Donovan Peoples-Jones, who broke a big one for a touchdown against Nebraska at the 16.
I thought they ran out of time there.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
It's really not that big of a penalty there. I mean, you actually gain a few yards now, and the punter can just kick it full strength now rather than trying to pooch it.
They'll back him up at the 29. Whitehead. Peoples-Jones from the 15. Bottled up. And he'll get to the 20. A 42-yard punt and a 5-yard return. Now tomorrow it's a Fox NFL doubleheader starting with Ezekiel Elliott and the Cowboys taking on Matt Ryan and the Falcons. Then it's America's Game of the Week as Carson Wentz and the Eagles battle Drew Brees and the Red Hot Saints. It's all on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Check local listings for the game in your area.
Well, after a turnover as a quarterback, it's important. You got to go over there. It's basically like you got to hit the mouthwash. You know, do something. Rinse the taste out of your mouth from a turnover and get back out there, get right back on the horse.
First and 10 at the 20. Handed off to Higdon. Goes outside, and Higdon pick up about 3. Flag on the play, however.
Looks like you're going to get McCune, 84, with a hold. The tight end. He was pulling around. Looked like he...
Holding. Offense number 84. 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, first down.
He goes, and he's trying to block Micah McFadden, who's had a terrific day. Watch 84 as he's contacting right there, and then you're going to see it kind of come down, and there's the jersey pull. Easy call by the officials. Who backs Michigan up.
First and 20. Patterson runs it. And he'll get out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
There's that zone read. And again, that was not really in the Michigan playbook the last couple of years, but with his skill set, speaking of Shea Patterson, Pep Hamilton and Jim Harbaugh told us we had to incorporate some things that we knew he would give us a chance with. This is one of them. Incorporating some of those zone reads. They pulled the tight end there, trying to loop around the edge, and they were able to do so. Nice run.
Second and 9. Patterson under pressure, and Patterson wisely just throws it away. But that pressure came out of nowhere. Micah McFadden, the freshman, he has had a terrific day.
I mean, unbelievable day. Watch as he's going to go all the way around the edge and then get home. I mean, this kid's an impressive player. 227 pounds. He was the conference player of the year in his high school conference with 211 tackles. So this guy's always around the ball. What a game he's had.
Third down and 9 for the Wolverines at their own 21. Patterson out of the pocket. Patterson lofts it up and caught at the 40. Zach Gentry. First down.
What a play. I mean, what a play. These are called scramble rules. If you're on the sideline to the point where your quarterback is going, keep going deep. Clear out so people can come in those vacated zones underneath you. And Patterson does a great job of keeping his eyes down the field. Probably could have run for it, but saw that the big play was there.
Gentry, 2 catches for 81 yards. First and 10 at the 38 for the Wolverines. Play fake. Patterson sets up deep. Goes for it all. And incomplete. Nico Collins, the intended receiver, but Jonathan Crawford, the senior from Largo, Florida, in coverage.
The experienced one, Jonathan Crawford. He's played 48 games in his career, which is why he was not confused on that play. Understood what they were trying to do, and he was in terrific position there. That ball was maybe a touch underthrown, but Crawford had excellent position and was able to go bat it away.
Second down and 10 at the 38. True Wilson with a lane, hits a corner with speed, first down and more. A 15-yard gain for True Wilson.
He just outran Damian Willis to that corner. Willis was unblocked from his linebacker spot, but True just beat him out to the left. True Wilson from Warren, Michigan, who's had a bigger role over the last few weeks, and he's done a nice job to spell these backs like Karan Higdon and Chris Evans.
He's the team's 3rd leading rusher. 4 carries, 33 yards today. And it's Evans with a stiff arm. Evans still moving. And now the body shots, the Joe Frazier body shots, are starting to pay off for the Wolverines.
That offensive line is starting to take their toll, and this is when the body language of the defense starts to change, and that's what Pep Hamilton is looking at. You get the hands on the hips from the defensive linemen and the linebackers, and they lean back a little bit, and that's when Pep Hamilton knows that he's got the defense. And you wouldn't be surprised here to see another in between the tackles run.
2nd down and 2. Evans, the pistol back. Play fake. Patterson deflected and incomplete. Gavin Everett got his hands up and knocked that one down.
And they had him. McCune was wide open. He's got to put a little air on this ball. There are 2 ways you can do this as a quarterback. You pump fake, get him up in the air, and then dump it around him, kind of sidearm like a shortstop, turn in a double play. Or you've got to dump it over the top and float it almost like you're shooting a free throw.
Patterson, a great third baseman, drafted as well. 3rd and 2 at the 15. I don't think so. No gain. James Miller plugging up the hole. Karan Higdon with no space.
And they got no push up front. Watch this. They just lose the line of scrimmage, pull around, and boom. Indiana is right there, make a great play. And again, inside the 20, Indiana is forcing a field goal kick. They have been outstanding in the red zone.
So Jake Moody has hit one from 30, 31, and 32 yards. This one from 33 yards away. And Michigan will take it. 4 for 4 for this young man. From Northville, 25-17. Wolverines.
You could have just camped out on the couch. But instead, you're camped out here, getting out of your comfort zone. It's possible in the all-new Santa Fe with Lane Keep Assist, part of the Hyundai SUV family.
How did Arby's finally make the turkey sandwich exciting? We deep fried it. Just the turkey part, not the whole sandwich. For now.
Arby's, we have the meats.
For sandwiches.
Next week, Fox College Football will bring you the game. Number 4 Michigan versus number 10 Ohio State. A berth in the Big Ten Championship and possibly a spot in the college football playoffs is on the line. Coverage begins at 11 a.m. Eastern here on Fox. The 115th meeting all time between the team from the north and the team from the south.
Since Urban Meyer's gotten to Ohio State, it's been all Buckeyes. 6-0 Urban Meyer is against these Wolverines. That's why Jim Harbaugh is standing on the sideline, folks, is to beat that team.
Coach Harbaugh has just done a spectacular job with this program. We sat with him yesterday and talked for a long time about Michigan football. And he was in a good mood. I asked him, I said, are you sleeping? He said, needless to say, I'm not hitting any snooze buttons.
That's right. It's a great line. He's really done a marvelous job, you know, and I think it's been put to bed, all those hot take artists that wanted to call him overrated at the beginning of this season, because this is one of the best teams in America, in position to make a playoff push, and right now in a solid game with Indiana.
On first down, Stevie Scott. And Stevie Scott gets to the 30-yard line. Devin Bush, Rashawn Gary with the tackle. Scott has just been wonderful. 22 carries, 124 yards, and a touchdown. And folks, he's a true freshman. Sky is the limit. 2nd and 5. Ramsey. And that one batted down. Devin Gill.
There's a flag down in the defensive backfield, and I think they're going to get Levert Hill on a holding on the outside, even though that ball was batted down.
Holding. Defense, number 24. 10-yard penalty. Yardage results in a first down.
And the reason that's important is because if that was just going to be some sort of contact or pass interference, that goes away because of the tip at the line of scrimmage is batted down. But they get him for a hold. Again, he pulls that jersey over the shoulder of Nick Westbrook. As soon as that happens, that's just an easy flag for the official to throw.
1st and 10 to the 40-yard line for IU. Hoosiers playing their hearts out on the road. Ramsey down the sideline. Timian. And incomplete. Metellus covering.
You know what's interesting about Nick Westbrook? He doesn't have the double-sided tape on the top of his shoulder pad. Normally, or he does, and it's already been ripped off. See that tape right there on the top of his shoulder pad? That's supposed to keep his jersey locked on the pad, and Lavert Hill has just been ripping it off.
2nd and 10 at the 40. Scott. And he'll get to the 44. Rashawn Gary with the tackle.
See, normally, the reason why a guy like Lavert Hill would not get called on that a lot is because the tape extends over the round part of the shoulder, and there's no way that that jersey would come off of the shoulder pad. So Lavert's Hill technique, he's going to get up there and he's going to grab and use his hands, but because the jersey is coming off, that's why the flag is coming out.
3rd and 6 at the 44. Ramsey steps up in the pocket, wants to run it for the first down, has it. And Ramsey with some timely running, picked up 9 on 3rd and 6.
I mean, timely, you should say, Gus, that's his 5th run that has picked up a first down. All of them on 3rd down. That is just an excellent job.
6 carries for 57 yards for the Indiana quarterback. Ramsey sprints out of the pocket and dumps it.
Yeah, this is the right call. John O'Neill is just telling the stadium he was outside of the pocket and he threw the ball past the line of scrimmage. It was close, but I think he was outside of that tackle box by at least a step. I mean, they're going to give him the benefit of the doubt on a play like that. I thought that that was the correct call.
2nd and 10. Stevie Scott, and it will not get back to the line of scrimmage. Joshua Uche, first man to it.
They're trying to find a little bit of a rotation because they're playing without a guy that I think is going to be an All-American at the end of the year, Chase Winovich. So Uche is playing a little defensive end. And everybody that they put in there as a backup, that's the player that Indiana is reading on that zone read play. It's been Aiden Hutchinson. When it's Josh Uche, they put them in the conflict. It's a good game plan for the Hoosiers.
Takes us to the end of the 3rd quarter with our score 25-17 Michigan. But Indiana still in this game and playing hard. Leads Indiana. Wolverines with 10 points in the 3rd. Hoosiers 3rd and 10 at the 47. Ramsey looking for the first down. That one thrown high and incomplete. Reese Taylor, the intended receiver, but there's a flag.
I think they're going to get an offensive pass interference here.
There's no foul for offensive pass interference. The ball was touched behind the line of scrimmage. 4th down.
They were trying to run a pick play. And it looked like they were trying to watch his. See, they're going to come from this angle. Watch right here. You're going to try, and he basically stops and tries to pick the man. I guess they're saying that ball was tipped. That flag gets removed.
And there's an injured Wolverine at the 40-yard line.
Yeah,
Khaleke Hudson,
number 7.
And while he's being looked at, will step aside. 25-17. Back after this.
Cowboys. What a weapon! Thanksgiving Day at 4 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Aerial coverage is brought to you by our good neighbors at State Farm. The attendance today, 110,118. And since November of 1975, at least 100,000 fans have attended every home game here at Michigan. That's 286 now in a row. And here we go, some razzle-dazzle. And they fake it, but will not get it. Michigan ready. That time it was Devin Bush on special teams making the play.
And that's why he's out there. I mean, just the speed from Devin Bush. Okay, so here's Devin Bush right there. And he's going to go all the way to his right. And now he's going to start to get around the center who's trying to block him, the long snapper. And then, boom, right here, shot out of a cannon. That's the speed at the end, the closing speed. And he's able to get the job done.
Marcelino Ball, the ball carrier. And Devin Bush, who they say is a top 10 pick if he were to elect to come out of school at the end of this season.
He's certainly right up there, maybe in the top 2-3 linebackers. I think he's certainly going to have to make that decision. And asked him about it yesterday when we had a conversation with him as the officials are conferring here over this flag. But he said, listen, that's for a later time, later date when I decide with my family after the year. But what a player he is.
There is no foul for blocking a player out of bounds. First down.
John O'Neill and his crew doing a nice job today.
I didn't like that fake. If it's 4th and 3, I understand it. 4th and 10, that's a tough one there. It's still just a one-possession game, and Indiana's defense has played so well. I just don't love giving Michigan great field position here.
First down, they give it to Higdon. And Higdon, forward progress. It'll gain 4 on the play. Let's check in with Jenny Taft.
Well, a couple updates for you guys injury-wise. Now, you just saw Khaleke Hudson come off. It tends to be a cramp for that hamstring. He's been on the bike trying to stay warm. With Chase Winovich and Aubrey Solomon both still in the locker room. I've been over there. Not any movement in and out of the locker room. And obviously, I'll keep you posted if anyone comes back onto the field, guys.
Thank you, Jenny. 2nd and 6 at the 48. Higdon, big-time run. Karan Higdon. Knees high. Damian Willis with the tackle after a 13-yard gain.
You're going to get Michael Onwenu and Cesar Ruiz, the center and right guard. Bang, look at him mash it down. And then, boom, the big hole for Karan Higdon, who's able to find it, get himself upfield. Good vision there, but excellent job by right guard center, creating the hole for Higdon. Body shots, Gus.
And Joel, did you hear the sound?
That's what they want to do. None of these coaches have ever been accused of saying we want to win pretty.
First down. Wilson. And somehow he avoids the loss and picks up 2.
Patterson's ball handling is excellent, isn't it? He actually kept the ball on that.
Oh, excuse me. He did. He fooled me, Joel.
That's how you know the ball handling was so good.
They pull it out at the last moment.
That's when they read option. You know, that read, and he does a great job. It's called kind of riding the running back. So you ride that running back down in towards the line of scrimmage, and then you try to pull that ball out at the last second.
2nd down and 8 at the 37. This is Wilson. Drew Wilson played at De La Salle. Powerhouse sports school in Warren, Michigan. T.D. Roof, Jalen Williams combining on the tackle.
Big opportunity here for Indiana to force Jim Harbaugh to think about it. I think Jim Harbaugh would probably go for it here. Maybe just a touch out of Moody's range, being that this is the first game he's really had Moody as the full-time kicker.
3rd down and 2. Patterson, first down. Patterson at the 20. Patterson out of bounds at the 12. A 19-yard gain.
I think that's the difference, Gus. That's the difference between Michigan of the last couple of years and now Michigan this year is the ability of their quarterback, Shea Patterson, to read it and now get outside and use his feet. If you look at this season, he's got 15 first down runs this season, Shea Patterson does. 7 of 8 of those were in the second half on 3rd down. That's huge. The ability to move the chains. Now it's 8 of 9.
First down at the Indiana 12. Higdon. We get to the 10-yard line. Maybe the 9. Marcelino Ball stands him up.
But what has Michigan done all day long? drive it into the red zone. I believe they've only had one punt today. They've driven it down into the red zone constantly, and Indiana has done an excellent job of forcing kicks. We'll see if they can do it again here.
Jake Moody 4 for 4 for the Wolverines. 2nd and 7 at the 9. Higdon. And his knee goes down as he gets to the line of scrimmage, and he may have lost a yard on that play. Looks like he did. So 3rd down and 8 at the 10.
Boy, this defense, man, I'm telling you, don't they bow their neck down here? And now again, here's a great opportunity. This one's going to be on Shea Patterson. He's got an empty backfield, 4 wide receivers down to the bottom of your screen, only single wide receiver up top.
On 3rd and 8. Patterson, quarterback run. Patterson makes a move, and Patterson dives forward and gets to the 6-yard line, a 4-yard gain. Mike Barwick, T.D. Roof defensively for IU.
Boy, that was an interesting call, especially with the fact that Indiana had a linebacker sitting there, and there was none of the Michigan offensive linemen that came out to try to block them. They had 4 defensive linemen and a linebacker. You have 5 offensive linemen. You think you have hats for hats, but no one came off to block the linebacker.
So Moody, who's 4 for 4, this time in to attempt a 23-yarder. And it's good. 5 for 5 for the freshman Jake Moody. 28-17 Michigan. Coach Harbaugh a little frustrated that his team isn't scoring touchdowns, but they lead it.
Geico makes it so easy to manage my policy. With an app that lets me pay my bill, add a vehicle, or even file a claim, it's not just easy. It's aerobics in a recliner easy.
And plank. Move it. Shimmy. And step, swivel. Keep it going. Kick, hold. Kick it out, and
So good and controlling their own fate. Oklahoma outside shot with West Virginia. By the way, West Virginia is locked in a battle right now in Stillwater. And how about the Buckeyes? I mean, you talk about surviving. The 2-point conversion attempt by Maryland to win the game goes for naught, and the Buckeyes survive 52-51.
So Jake Moody will kick it away. And this one into the end zone for a touchback. Let's go to Greg Wolf for a game break.
Gus, thanks. Well, number 9, West Virginia. They get Oklahoma next week, but right now they're just trying to get out of Stillwater with a win and keep those Big 12 title hopes intact. 4th and goal. Will Greer calls his own number. 6-yard touchdown. Mountaineers lead Oklahoma State. 41-31, 4th quarter. Gus, Joel, back to you.
We've seen that play.
Yes, we have.
The quarterback
a couple of weeks ago.
That's right. They ran it for a 2-point conversion to beat Texas at the end of the game. What a call that was from Dana Holgerson, and a great game right now in Stillwater.
1st down and 10 for Indiana at the 25. Ramsey delivers, and he has a receiver at the 30. Get all the way up to the 33. Stevie Scott out of the backfield with the catch. So now he's showing not only can he run it, but he can catch it as well.
11-point game. I know that Indiana plays with high tempo, but the clock, I think, is a factor because of Michigan's offense and their ability to bleed it out.
2nd down and 2. Scott lunging forward, looking for the 1st down. Will be short. John Ross with the tackle.
The reason it's a factor, of course, it's a 2-possession game, so you got to start thinking to yourself, how do I get 2 possessions realistically to go down and score? I think you need 3 minutes apiece, which means you got to start thinking about scoring with about 6 minutes to go.
3rd down and 1. Option. Scott breaks it back and picks up the 1st down.
Stevie Scott took the hit.
What a cut from Scott. Because Devin Bush was out there, and I mean, he was a little off balance, but it was the cut from Scott to go back inside that ultimately moved the chains.
Ramsey to throw on first down, airs it out, and incomplete. There's a flag, a couple of them. Timian, the intended receiver.
You know, this might go against Indiana because Metellus actually had position. It looked like Timian was the one that was dragging him down. Could go either way. Here's Timian, and he's going to take off with Metellus.
There are 2 fouls on the defense. Illegal substitution. Defense, that penalty's declined. Pass interference. Defense, number 14. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
I thought that could have gone offensive. Obviously, the substitution. I thought Metellus actually had the position. He's got every bit the right to get after that ball, but watch his left hand. And the left hand, he turns there, and then the right hand goes back. That's the restriction. But see, Timian also has got a hook on him as well. Boy, I thought that could have gone either way or both ways, to be quite honest with you. Just to call it one way, I don't necessarily agree with that.
But it's a first down for IU at the 49. Scott gets through the hole and picks up 4.5, maybe 5 on the play. Kwity Paye defensively for the Wolverines.
How about this tempo here, ready to go?
Ramsey in trouble and throws it incomplete. Fogel, the intended receiver.
Well, this is one of those situations that Michigan has excelled in coming into this ball game. They're allowing basically 0 conversions. They were 1 for their last 32 opponents in 3rd and long coming into this game in the last 32 opportunities, and in large part because of the pass rush and their ability to get to the quarterback. But remember, Winovich not on the field right now.
3rd down and 7 to the 46. 4 receivers at the bottom of your screen for Peyton Ramsey and the Indiana offense. Here's Ramsey looking, crossing route, caught by Taylor. Reese Taylor still running, and he gets out of bounds at the Michigan 25. That's a 21-yard gain.
And they continue to take advantage of the middle of the field. They're blitzing the linebackers, and now the middle of the field is wide open. That 4-receiver set, and the outside receiver, Reese Taylor, who is the backup quarterback right now because of some injuries on this team, he just gets in that vacated zone. And remember, Khaleke Hudson was the one dealing with some cramps, as Jenny told us. He was in coverage and could not keep up. Now Metellus, Josh Metellus is down. And he was dealing with a soft tissue injury coming into this ball game. He was a game time decision, has played the entire game, but now down.
Born in the same hospital.
Get himself off the field. He's dealing with that soft tissue injury coming into this ball game, but this Indiana offense doing a heck of a job on this series, having to answer now. Looking at under 8 minutes, an 11-point game in the 4th quarter.
And here they go, running the football. Stevie Scott again, and he gains 8 yards on the play.
That's exactly what they need, is that early down run success, and that sets up everything off of that, their play action and their pass game down the field.
2nd down to 3 at the 18. Scott trying to hop through the hole, and he's brought down by Kwity Paye. We've called Kwity Paye's name a number of times today.
Yeah, and he's had to come up big. You know, he's a guy that doesn't start a ton, but he's had more starting responsibility this year because of Rashawn Gary's injury. Now Winovich out of the game, so Kwity Paye playing a huge role.
3rd down and 1 at the Michigan 15 for Indiana.
Remember, Ramsey has run for 5 first downs on 3rd down plays in this ball game.
Ramsey option, pitches it. Oh, what a play by Metellus! Josh Metellus, and that's a 4-yard loss.
Excellent job by Rashawn Gary. Watch number 3. He's going to play this beautifully. He's got his shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage. Then he chases the quarterback. What that does is that extends the play towards the sideline and allows the support to come up from the second level. And Metellus does a great job attacking that outside shoulder of the freshman back and getting him down.
So Logan Justice, who hit a 41-yarder, in to attempt a 36-yard field goal. Got it up, and perfect. 6:10 to play. Indiana refusing to go away. 28-20.
There are those who see the challenges facing the nation and say, send me. They fight for country. They fight for honor. They fight to win.
Pound with 6 minutes and an 8-point lead. You can essentially end the game right here. You go on a 4-minute scoring drive where, 10 plays, 11 plays, 12 plays, and you take a 15-point lead with 2 minutes to go, and it basically ends the game. That's why Tom Allen was motivating his defense on the sideline, because he understands that right now this game is hanging in the balance, and it's on his defense to try to get off the field.
And the Wolverines are running back from the 16-yard line. On the move, Brad Hawkins. And Hawkins finally knocked out of bounds as he crosses the 35. Let's go to Greg Wolf. Actually, they're in.
August next on Fox's Big 12 action is number 6 Oklahoma, led by quarterback Kyler Murray, enters tonight's game against Kansas, leading the nation in total offense. We'll try to stay focused ahead of next week's showdown with West Virginia. It's Oklahoma, Kansas. Kickoff about 15 minutes away over on Fox.
All right, 6:03 to go in the fourth quarter. And there is an injured player. Targeting was the call.
Yeah, there was a targeting. I believe it was Berkeley Edwards is the player down for Michigan, and he was an up back. I believe that they're going to call this on Indiana, number 89.
This is a heck of a collision here.
No, it's not 89. He's coming in from the other side. 34 right there. Bam. Oh. 34 is Cam Jones, linebacker, freshman, 220 pounds. Let's hope that Edwards is okay. Here's another look. Here's Edwards, 32. There's Cam Jones, came in. They did call a targeting. And the crown of the helmet definitely goes under the chin of Edwards.
What a hit.
And I don't see any possibility for this targeting to get removed. Crown, launch. All of the indicators are there for this to be upheld and for Cam Jones to exit this ball game. The rule is making forcible contact against an opponent with the crown of the helmet, which is what they're looking at here, or making forcible contact the head or neck area of a defenseless opponent with any part of the helmet, forearm, hand, fist, elbow, or shoulder. This one of the first variety, certainly forcible. And again, it doesn't have to be a defenseless player because of the crown of the helmet from Cam Jones being used. And so this is textbook, and right now let's just pray that Berkeley Edwards is okay. Sixth-year senior. It's his last game here at the Big House on a senior night.
After further review, the ruling on the field of targeting is confirmed. By rule, number 34 is disqualified. 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Cam Jones ejected. Berkeley Edwards. From Chelsea, Michigan.
Gus, the percentage of injuries on that kickoff play goes way up. This is one of the reasons why the NFL has changed their rules in the kickoff. I certainly can see a day in which
just start from the 25. Just Wolverines.
This fan base certainly familiar with Berkeley and his family. His brother Braylon Edwards, of course, the record-setting receiver here at Michigan, former first-round pick. And Berkeley was a grad transfer this year in from Central Michigan. He started his career at Minnesota, then transferred to Central Michigan, graduated, came here to play his last season of football at Michigan.
Remember, Braylon Edwards was on the last Michigan Big Ten championship team back in 2004 when they were co-champs with Iowa.
The reason he wanted to come back here, obviously he's got the ties with his brother, and I'm sure he's seen so many games here, but his father Stan was also a running back here at Michigan.
And usually in these cases, folks, it looks worse than it actually is, but
precaution is the name of the game.
Exactly. Precautionary measures. They want to make sure that the player gets absolutely 100% the best treatment possible. And you see these crews on the field before the game, and they practice just as hard as the players.
It's all about stabilization. If there's any concern whatsoever, stabilize immediately. And gosh, I just hate to see this. This Michigan team is very close.
6:03 to go, fourth quarter.
What if they sold tires online?
We do. We're TireRack.com.
They could offer lots of tires.
Indiana, Berkeley Edwards is still down on the field. Jim Harbaugh, the head coach of the Wolverines, is out there with his player. And we'll mention once again, normally in these situations, the crews come out and they give the players special attention for precautionary purposes.
Let's hope that's the case. You know, absolutely. There's no doubt. Certainly saying a prayer up here in the booth for Berkeley and his family.
We did see him moving his legs.
It's almost.
And you know what? I agree with you 100%. I think that the rules committee, when they meet, they should just outlaw kickoffs.
Well, they're certainly going to talk about it. It has been a conversation that they have had. The NFL took precautions to change the formation requirements this last season. The college game did not. I'm not saying that those adjustments would have prevented what we just have seen here in the Big House, but I talk with all the commissioners, you know, and got people on the rules committee, and there's absolutely an appetite by the powers that be to remove this play, and it's not just because of one injury or the nature of that injury, but the number and amount, the percentage of injuries on this play is way higher than on any other play in the game of football. And because of that, I absolutely think that you're going to see a movement towards getting rid of the kickoff play altogether. Some people will not like that. Some people will like that. But that's absolutely the direction that this game is going. And I can tell you on both sidelines, both of them, not just the Michigan sideline, both sidelines, the game has become completely secondary. And you become a band of brothers under the sport when something like this happens versus a band of brothers in a certain uniform.
So Berkeley Edwards taken off the field. And we will update you on his status as soon as we know something. I'm sure Jenny Taft will be heading back to the Michigan locker room to check on him.
Think of football right now.
We will update you on Berkeley Edwards and his condition as soon as we know something.
As we try to shift our focus here, Gus, after the penalty was assessed, now this drive starts on the plus side of the 50 for Michigan.
First down and 10 with the Indiana 47. Chris Evans dancing, and he goes down at the 46. Gavin Everett with the tackle.
These linebackers continue to do a heck of a job. TD Roof in there now, and they've rotated a bunch of guys. TD Roof, a sophomore from Buford, Georgia. He's in. We've seen Michael McFadden, Thomas Allen, Damian Willis, Marcelino Ball. They're going to have to play their best football right now.
Second down and 8 at the 45. Patterson running it. Patterson, first down. Shea Patterson stays in bounds. And finally tackled at the 30 after a 15-yard gain.
And it seems like big moments this entire year, whether it was Northwestern when they needed a big play or Michigan State when they needed a big play, they turn to their quarterback and the ground game that he provides. That zone read, defensive end squeezes down. Patterson makes a great read, pulls that ball, gets to the edge, and moves the chains.
His head coach, Jim Harbaugh, says of this kid, he's as tough as a $2 steak. First and 10 at the 30. Higdon somehow slipped that tackle.
He like ducked under a tackle. It wasn't just a cut, but he goes under a defensive player. I mean, watch this. Higdon's going to start off to the right. Here he comes over here, and then watch right here. He's going to duck under, and he's going to actually get more yardage after going under the tackler. That's an incredible cut. I mean, you don't normally see that presence of mind out of a running back, but wow.
Great vision for Karan Higdon. 96 yards rushing and a touchdown. Second and 5 at the 25. Patterson again running. He's got a blocker, and he picks up a first down. He ran behind Sean McCune. Marcelino Ball with the tackle, but first down Wolverines.
Boy, and these big plays, when they get close to that conversion point, they put the game in Shea Patterson's hands, and they say, you read it. And those defensive ends, they can't help themselves because of the dominance of the run game for the Michigan Wolverines. A guy like Higdon, who's done really well today, averaging over 5 yards per carry. But the problem is that Patterson does so well on those reads that he's averaging now close to 8 yards per carry.
9 carries, 68 yards for Shea Patterson. Michigan 500 yards in total offense. True Wilson now. And Wilson picks up 5. Let's go to Greg Wolf for a game break.
Gus, thanks. Number 9, West Virginia came down to the wire with Oklahoma State. Taylor Cornelius hits Tylan Wallace, the Bolitnikoff finalist. Cowboys take the lead. 2 seconds left. Will Greer trying to rally West Virginia. Final chance. Fires to the end zone. It is batted down, incomplete. The Cowboys pull off the upset. 45-41. Back to you.
It's been a tough year for Oklahoma State, but they beat West Virginia and Texas in the same season, 2nd and 5. And Higdon chopped down as he crosses the line of scrimmage. Good defense by this Indiana squad on Drake Brown that time.
Well, they're certainly taking the air out of the ball, this Michigan offense. And they've done a great job of getting down here with 2:44 left. You know, a field goal is good, but a touchdown ices this thing. And Jim Harbaugh knows that.
Tell you what, under Tom Allen, though, in only his 2nd season, you better watch out for Indiana down the road.
Yeah, and
they're getting players here now.
This running back, Stevie Scott, that we've seen tonight has been impressive. These young linebackers have been impressive. Young defensive linemen. They have more speed on the field this year than I've seen from them in the past. We, again, had his first game, the Foster's Farm Bowl, a couple of years ago. He took over for Kevin Wilson. This team looks different, and it looks different mostly, Gus, in the speed department. Stevie Scott has been tremendous tonight. They've still got an outside shot here. A field goal makes this a 14-point game. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, an 11-point game. Touchdown basically does it, though. And you're probably not going to see Harbaugh go for it on 4th down the way that Moody has caught it. So I think that you're going back to the place where Shea Patterson is the one making the decision. We might get one of those zone reads out of him going around the left side.
3rd down and 4 of the 13. Patterson looking, and he will not get it. Well defended by the Hoosiers. This time it's T.D. Roof and James Head. And now Indiana's out of timeouts with 2:40 to go in the 4th.
I tell you, man, this Indiana defense, Michigan has a season high in yardage. They're over 500 yards of total offense, but the Indiana defense has done a marvelous job of stopping them once they've been in the red zone. With the yardage that we've seen and the plays that Michigan has made, you could have easily seen them score, 42, 45 points in this ball game. But it's been the ability of Indiana to stop these 3rd down plays in the red zone and force Jim Harbaugh into these decisions of whether he's going to kick it or not. I certainly think he should.
If he does kick it,
go for the field goal. If
he does kick it, it'll be interesting to see Moody now kick a field goal with pressure.
Yeah.
He's 4 for 4. Excuse me, 5 for 5.
For Gus, there's pressure kicks in high school. Yeah, that's all well and good. Jake Moody has never kicked a field. I know it's not for a win. This is the most pressurized kick he's ever kicked in his life.
And it's from 29 yards away. It will be a new school record. 6 field goals and no misses. Snap. And good. That ball wiggled around. But Moody with the concentration to drill it, and he is now 6 for 6.
How about the hold, too?
Will Hart.
Hart's able to get this ball down, and he does the right thing. If all you can do is get it down, don't spin the laces. The laces are secondary. You just got to get it down, and he did the perfect thing. If he tries to spin that late, no telling what happens to the angle of that ball, so he leaves it. That's why it knuckled just a little bit. But what a hold right there. First to catch that snap on a cold night and get it down to the ground. Have the presence of mind, Gus, not to spin it late. That's one of those old, Holder adages, I mean, it's just like, boy.
Will Hart has had a terrific season and a great play there. Let's go downstairs to Jenny.
Well, Gus, I've learned that Berkeley Edwards does have feeling in his extremities, and those measures that they took believed to be precautionary, so I wanted to get you the latest there.
Okay, thank you very much.
Great news. Thank you, Jenny.
Sensational news for Berkeley Edwards. For this man, Jake Moody, 6 for 6. Moody had never kicked a field goal at the University of Michigan before tonight. And he goes 6 for 6.
They might need him in bigger moments down the stretch.
Especially next week. 2:37 to go in the fourth, 31-20. Stevie Scott, folks, remember this man's name.
How about this? Set tonight records. 30 rushes for 139 yards. It's the 5th 100-yard rush game for the season. That ties Anthony Thompson in 1986. And his now 1,035 rush yards this season is a new true freshman Indiana record. And he's been impressive, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. Great size, 6'2", 236 from Syracuse, New York.
Officials timeout. For an injured defensive
Devin Bush
player.
goes down.
Boy, you're going to see Devin Bush. Watch Devin Bush. Here's Devin Bush right here. And as he gets down into his stance, he's stretching. As he gets up, and he's like, nope.
Cramped up.
Yep.
Devin Bush. What a player for this Michigan team. Mid-season, second-team All-American by the Associated Press and a Butkus Award semifinalist. He's been moving up the draft charts as well. Projected to be a top 10 pick in 2019.
Gus, we've seen a couple of players from Michigan now struggle with cramps tonight. You might be thinking, well, in November, this doesn't make a lot of sense. But remember, Michigan sees the 4th fewest plays for their defense in the country. Tonight, at 57.5, right around there. Tonight, they've seen 67. There's only been 2 other games this year they've seen more snaps than what they've seen tonight. Notre Dame was one of those.
First down and 10 at the 25 for the Hoosiers. Ramsey in trouble and incomplete. Dwumfor again with pressure. Michael Dwumfor has been brilliant tonight.
And this is one of those guys that has developed into a very good player up front. Just a 3-star prospect out of high school. He was the number 24 recruit out of the state of New Jersey. He's been terrific tonight.
Second and 10 at the 25. Ramsey scrambles out of the pocket and throws it out of bounds. It'll bring up 3rd down and long.
Well, this defense took some hits tonight. You know, this Indiana offense put up some yards, 372 yards so far. Ramsey was pretty good through the air.
3rd down and 10 of the 25. Here's Ramsey. Looking over the middle, caught, and a first down IU. Timian again with the catch, this time for 15.
And again, Timian finds the soft spot in the zone. He's able to settle down, and Ramsey hits him for a huge first down.
Timian has been a great possession receiver. 6 catches, 62 yards. Ramsey checks it down. And Majette with the reception. Devin Bush, Metellus combining on the tackle.
Boy, those catches, though, that don't create first downs with no timeouts, they just take so much time off the clock.
2nd and 6. Peyton Ramsey throws on the run. Ramsey over the shoulder. And that one is incomplete. Donovan Hale, the intended receiver.
Boy, and Hale had a step or two on the defensive back. That looks like number 22, David Long, and Long is still down, and he's now dealing with some cramps. That was the 72nd snap that this defense has faced tonight, which I believe is a season high for Michigan. David Long was in coverage on number 6, Donovan Hale. And he gets a step. Hale beats him right here, right there. He's going to get a step. just overthrown, and as David Long turns around, he's trying to stretch it out, and he goes down with a cramp as well. Well, Indiana has been able to do to Michigan what few other teams have been able to do, and that is find some success in the passing game. I know Ramsey's percentage and just his overall numbers aren't going to look, great off the charts. 16 to 33, 195 and a touchdown. He did throw an interception, but remember, Michigan had held their last 5 opponents to under 10 completions. Ramsey's the first opponent since the Northwestern game to complete over 10 passes.
I'll tell you what, the crossing routes have been very effective for Indiana today, and I know Urban Meyer and his staff will be looking at this film and Indiana's success, as well as the fact that the Hoosiers have been able to run it on the Wolverines.
Yeah, this is going to be a blueprint game for Ohio State's coaching staff to see exactly how they attacked Michigan, in particular with those routes across the middle. And it wasn't the inside receiver running across the middle, it was the outside receiver. The inside receivers, the slot guys, they would clear out, and then it was just a little delay towards the middle, and that was giving Michigan all sorts of fits.
3rd down and 6 at the 44. Ramsey. And he's sacked. Rashawn Gary.
What a great inside move. He gives the tackle Brandon Knight a big outside move, comes underneath for the sack of Ramsey.
2 sacks on the day for the Wolverines. 4th and 12. And Michigan.
30-second charge. Timeout, Michigan.
Will call a timeout. They have 2 remaining. .129 to go in the 4th.
And while we wait here, time for the expectation-shattering drive of the game, sponsored by Buick. And it was that last scoring drive by Michigan. Patterson did a great job converting a couple of times, finding Donovan Peoples-Jones. Then this was a 3rd down run by Higdon, churned his legs, was able to move the chains, and then ultimately it paid off with just a grinded-out 11-play drive, finished off by that offensive line and Higdon himself.
Shea Patterson, 16 of 28, 250 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Patterson throwing his first interception since the Maryland game, October 6th. 4th down and 12 at the 38. For Indiana, Ramsey out of the pocket. Ramsey lets it go. And knocked down. Indiana will turn it over on downs. Khalid Hudson, as well as Tyree Kennel, in on the play.
Well, on this Saturday in the Big Ten, for the 2 top teams in the East, it was survive and advance. And Michigan is going to survive here in the Big House.
Patterson at the line of scrimmage. The Wolverines in the victory formation. As he takes the knee. Michigan will win their 10th straight game. And now, folks, here we go, the big game. Jim Harbaugh will take the Wolverines into Columbus, where Urban Meyer and the Buckeyes await. Urban Meyer has had his way with the Michigan team since taking over at Ohio State. Not only is it the greatest rivalry in college sports, but there is so much on the line for this one.
You can argue there's playoff implications for both teams. Certainly playoff implications for this Michigan team. Oof. Can't wait, partner. I cannot wait.
Jim Harbaugh makes the walk across the field. Job well done against a very good Indiana team on this day as Patterson gives Coach Harbaugh the ball. Tom Allen, his team came into Ann Arbor and fought hard, but Michigan wins it, and they will clinch the Big Ten East with a win over Ohio State next week. Northwestern is waiting for the winner of that game for the Big Ten championship. (31-20) the final score. Partner, your final thoughts.
Wasn't always pretty. The offense has got to do a better job finishing drives in the red zone, and the defense has got to shore up some of that coverage in the back end, in particular over the middle of the field. That being said, we finally got a kicker, and Moody